What if Naruto Uzumaki wasn't just the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, but wielded one of the most terrifying power in existence? The ability to manipulate souls themselves. Imagine the kid everyone feared suddenly possessing Mahito's idol transfiguration, reshaping reality with a single touch, rewriting his destiny from the very first breath. Buckle up, because this story changes everything.
The Sound Ninja's kunai was 3 inches from Sakura's throat when Naruto's hand clamped around his wrist. "Got you!" Naruto whispered. The Sound Ninja's eyes widened in confusion, then horror as his bones began to shift beneath his skin. Not breaking, reshaping. His arm twisted into an impossible angle, fingers fusing together into a harmless club of flesh and bone. The transformation spread up his shoulder, locking his entire upper body into a rigid, immobile state. He couldn't move, couldn't attack, could barely breathe, but he was alive. "Idol transfiguration," Naruto said quietly, his blue eyes gleaming with an otherworldly light that saw past flesh and chakra to something deeper, something fundamental. "Don't worry, you'll live. I made sure of that." The Sound Ninja collapsed, gasping, his body frozen in a state between human and something else. His 2 teammates stared in absolute terror at the blonde kid who just turned their friend into a living sculpture with a single touch. "What the hell?" one started. Naruto's head snapped toward them, and they saw it. That glow in his eyes. That awareness that seemed to pierce straight through them, seeing something they couldn't comprehend. Their souls lay bare before him like anatomical diagrams. "Leave," Naruto commanded, his voice carrying an edge that made veteran Jonin sound soft. "Take your friend. Get medical attention. I reshaped his bones to immobilize him, not kill him. A medical ninja can reverse it if they're skilled enough. But if you come at my friends again..." He let the threat hang. They grabbed their transformed teammate and vanished into the forest without another word. Sakura stared at Naruto's back, trembling. "Naruto, what was that?" He turned to her, and his expression softened immediately. The terrifying presence evaporated, replaced by the warm smile she'd known since the academy. "Sorry if I scared you, Sakura-chan, but I promised myself a long time ago I'd use this power to protect people, even if it looks scary." Sasuke emerged from the trees, sharing an active, studying Naruto with intensity. "That technique, it's not ninjutsu, not genjutsu. What is it?" Naruto's smile turned wry. "It's complicated, but maybe it's time I told you guys the truth." 8 years earlier, the awakening. The alley behind Ichiraku Ramen was dark, cold, and far from the warm lights of the village. 8-year-old Naruto Uzumaki lay curled against the wall, blood dripping from his split lip, his ribs screaming with every breath. 3 villagers stood over him. "Monster," one spat. "You think you belong here? You think you deserve to walk the same streets as us?" Naruto tried to speak, to defend himself, to say he didn't know what they meant, but the words wouldn't come. They never did when this happened. A boot slammed into his stomach. The world exploded in white-hot pain. "My brother died because of you. The 4th Hokage died because of you." Another kick. Naruto's vision swam. Through the haze of agony, he felt something strange, a warmth building in his chest. Not the familiar heat of the Nine-Tails, that was sealed away, just an echo in his dreams. This was different. This was his. The largest villager reached down, grabbing Naruto by his collar and lifting him up. "Maybe if we finish what the 4th started, the village can finally have peace." His hands closed around Naruto's throat, and Naruto's hands, acting on pure survival instinct, grabbed the man's arms. "I can see it." The thought came unbidden, crystal clear despite the oxygen deprivation. He could see inside the man, not his organs or his bones. Something deeper, something fundamental, the shape that made him him. The core structure that separated this person from every other person in existence. The soul. Naruto didn't know what he was doing, didn't understand the power flowing through his hands. But his mind, desperate and terrified, reached out and twisted. The man's arms contorted, bones reshaped, flesh reformed. The hands around Naruto's throat released as the villager's arms transformed into grotesque, useless appendages. The man screamed. Naruto fell to the ground, gasping, staring at his hands in horror as the villager stumbled backward, his companions shouting in panic. "What did you do? What did you do?" They fled, dragging their transformed friend with them, leaving Naruto alone in the alley with the sound of his own heartbeat thundering in his ears. He looked at his hands, small, young, covered in his own blood. I hurt someone. The thought made him sick. Yes, they'd been hurting him. Yes, they tried to kill him. But the look of terror on that man's face, the scream of agony, it echoed in Naruto's mind like a nightmare he couldn't wake from. He spent the rest of that night hiding in his tiny apartment, experimenting in terrified fascination with his new ability. He could see his own soul when he concentrated, a bright swirling mass of energy and emotion. He could touch it, shape it, change it. Within hours, he'd learned to alter his own appearance, shifting his features subtly, healing the bruises on his face. By morning, he'd made a decision. Standing before the cracked mirror in his bathroom, Naruto pressed his hand against his chest and felt the warmth of his own soul beneath his palm. "I'm never going to use this to hurt people," he whispered to his reflection. "Never. I'm going to be a hero. I'm going to protect people with this power, even if they hate me. I'm going to prove that even scary powers can be used for good." The reflection stared back with determined blue eyes. "I'm going to be Hokage, and everyone will finally see I'm not a monster, I'm not a weapon. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and I'm going to be the greatest hero this village has ever seen." 6 years later, Academy graduation. Iruka Umino watched Naruto Uzumaki with a mixture of pride and concern as the blonde-haired student tied his new forehead protector around his head with a massive grin. Pride because Naruto had exceeded every expectation. Concern because Iruka had seen things he couldn't explain. 3 months ago, during a training accident, Naruto had taken a kunai to the shoulder that should have required weeks of medical attention. The next day, the wound was gone. Not healed, gone. As if it had never existed. 2 months ago, during a sparring match, Iruka had watched Naruto's broken finger straighten itself in real time, the bone visibly shifting back into place beneath the skin. 1 month ago, he'd caught Naruto in the back of the classroom with his hand pressed against a dying plant. When Naruto noticed him watching, he'd yanked his hand back, but not before Iruka saw the plant's leaves green and strengthen as if years of growth had occurred in seconds. "Naruto," Iruka called as the students began filing out. "Stay behind for a moment." Naruto's smile didn't falter, but something in his eyes shifted. Awareness, calculation. This wasn't the simple prankster of 3 years ago. This was someone who'd learned to hide in plain sight while becoming something extraordinary. When the classroom emptied, Iruka closed the door. "You've changed," he said simply. "I've been training hard, Iruka-sensei." Naruto's enthusiasm was genuine, but it didn't quite mask the guardedness underneath. "That's not what I mean." Iruka sat on his desk, regarding his student carefully. "The healing, the way you sometimes look at people like you're seeing something no one else can. The fact that you aced the written exam when you've always struggled with theory." Naruto's smile faded slightly. "I just got better at studying?" "You're not in trouble," Iruka said quickly. "I just want you to know, whatever gift you have, whatever makes you special, you don't have to hide it from everyone, not from people who care about you." For a moment, Naruto's mask cracked. His voice came out small, vulnerable. "What if the gift is scary? What if people are afraid of what I can do? Then you prove to them that scary things can be heroic too." Iruka smiled warmly. "You've always wanted to be Hokage, right? Every Hokage has had something that set them apart. The first had his wood release. The second had his water techniques. The third has his mastery of all elements. The fourth," he paused. "The fourth had his space-time jutsu and sealing genius." Naruto's expression flickered at the mention of the fourth. "Whatever your gift is," Iruka continued, "it's just a tool. What matters is how you use it. And I've watched you, Naruto. I've seen you help other students who are struggling. I've seen you use your strength to protect, not to bully. Whatever power you have, I trust you to use it right." Naruto was quiet for a long moment. Then he walked to the window, looking out over the village. "What if I told you I can see people's souls, Iruka-sensei? That I can reshape them with a touch? That I can heal injuries by understanding and fixing the fundamental shape of someone's existence?" Iruka felt his breath catch. I'd say that's an incredible responsibility. Yeah, Naruto turned back and his eyes held that otherworldly glow for just a second. But it's mine, and I'm going to use it to protect everyone, even the people who hate me, especially them, because that's what heroes do. Then I believe in you, Iruka said firmly. Now go. Your Genin team assignments are in 3 days. Enjoy your graduation. Naruto's grin returned full force. Ramen at Ichiraku? My treat. You never treat. I always end up paying. Details, details. Naruto laughed, and just like that, he was the enthusiastic kid again. But Iruka knew better now. That enthusiasm wasn't naivety. It was choice. Naruto Uzumaki chose joy, chose heroism, chose to be better than the world's expectations. It made Iruka proud in ways he couldn't put into words. Team 7, first meeting. The meeting room held 5 people. Naruto leaned back in his chair, studying his new teammates with soul perception active. He'd learned to keep it subtle over the years, just a faint enhancement to his normal vision that let him see the truth beneath the surface. Sakura Haruno's soul burned bright pink and white, ambitious and insecure in equal measure. She wanted to prove herself, wanted validation. The crush on Sasuke was surface level. Naruto could see, underneath it was a desperate need to be more than the normal girl in a team of prodigies. Sasuke Uchiha's soul was fascinating and tragic. Dark blues and deep purples shot through with veins of brilliant gold. So much pain, so much anger, but underneath was a kid who just wanted his family back, who wanted someone to acknowledge that he hurt. The cold exterior was armor, and Naruto understood armor. Kakashi Hatake's soul was the most complex Naruto had ever seen. It was like looking at a shattered mirror that had been glued back together. Thousands of pieces forming a functional whole, but the cracks were visible everywhere. Pain, guilt, love, loyalty, all fragmented and reformed. And something else. Something that recognized Naruto's uniqueness. The single visible eye held knowing. Kakashi-sensei can see I'm different, Naruto thought. He's been watching me since we sat down. So, Kakashi's voice was cheerful. Let's start with introductions. Your name, likes, dislikes, dreams for the future, and hobbies. Ladies first. Sakura went through her introduction, predictably fixated on Sasuke. Sasuke gave his moody declaration about killing a certain man and restoring his clan. Standard stuff. Then it was Naruto's turn. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, he said with his trademark grin. I like ramen, training, and protecting people. I dislike people who prey on the weak and anyone who threatens my precious people. My dream is to become Hokage, so everyone will have to acknowledge me as a hero. And my hobby is... He paused, considering how much to reveal, learning new ways to help people. Kakashi's visible eye crinkled. Interesting. And what makes you think you can become Hokage? The question might have sounded dismissive from another teacher. From Kakashi, it felt like a genuine inquiry. Naruto met his gaze steadily. Because I have power I've chosen to use for good. Because I never give up. And because I understand what people need, someone who'll protect them no matter what, even if the method is scary. Scary? Sakura asked. Everyone has things they're afraid of, Naruto said carefully. But fear and respect aren't the same thing. A true Hokage earns both, respect through action and fear from those who threaten the village. I just happen to have abilities that look scary to some people, but I use them to save lives. Sasuke's eyes narrowed. What abilities? You'll see during our test tomorrow, Kakashi interjected smoothly. Speaking of which, meet at Training Ground 3 at 5 a.m. Don't eat breakfast. You'll throw up. Test? Sakura asked. But we already graduated. Kakashi's smile turned sharp. The real test is just beginning. And fair warning, the fail rate is 66%. Most students get sent back to the academy. The bell test. Naruto arrived at Training Ground 3 at 4:30 a.m., well-fed despite Kakashi's warning. He knew his body too well now. Soul manipulation let him control his digestive system, suppress nausea, and optimize his physical state. A full stomach would give him energy, and he could prevent any vomiting through sheer force of will and biological manipulation. Sasuke arrived at 4:45, looking like he barely slept. Sakura showed up at 4:50, nervous and fidgeting. Kakashi appeared at 7 a.m. You're late, Sakura shouted. Sorry. A black cat crossed my path, so I had to take the long way. Kakashi's excuse was so blatant that even Sakura knew it was fake. He set an alarm clock on a nearby post. All right, Here's the deal. You have until noon to take these 2 bells from me. He held up 2 small bells. Only 2 bells. Which means at least one of you fails. That person gets tied to that post and watches the others eat lunch. Wait, that's not, Sakura started. The rules of the ninja world aren't fair, Kakashi interrupted. You either complete your mission or you don't. Now, begin. Sasuke and Sakura immediately vanished into the trees. Smart. Hide and assess. Naruto didn't move. Kakashi raised an eyebrow. Not going to hide? Don't need to. Naruto cracked his knuckles. I can see your soul, Kakashi-sensei. I know you're testing teamwork. I know you want us to work together. But I also know you need to see what I can do. So let's make this interesting. Oh? Kakashi pulled out his orange book. And how do you plan to do that? Naruto's eyes began to glow with that otherworldly blue light. Shadow clone jutsu. 20 clones popped into existence around the clearing. Kakashi's visible eye widened slightly. 20 clones was impressive for a genin. Most could barely manage 2 or 3. But what happened next made him drop his book. Naruto pressed his hands together and his eyes blazed brighter. Shadow clone soul fusion. The clones didn't dispel. Instead, they began to merge. Not their bodies, but something deeper. Their souls intertwined, combining experiences and strength while maintaining separate physical forms. Each clone became a perfect duplicate, sharing memories and coordination in real time through their connected souls. Impossible, Kakashi breathed. That technique shouldn't exist. All 20 Narutos grinned in perfect synchronization. When they spoke, their voices overlapped like a chorus. Let's test those Jonin reflexes, Sensei. They attacked. Kakashi found himself genuinely pressed for the first time in months. These weren't normal shadow clones that popped with a solid hit. Each one fought with the skill and coordination of the original, and when he struck one hard enough to dispel it, the soul connection transferred its accumulated experience to the others, making them progressively harder to fight. Earth release, earth wall. Kakashi slammed his hand down, creating a barrier. 5 Narutos flowed around it like water, their bodies briefly becoming semi-liquid through self-alteration before re-solidifying mid-strike. What the? Kakashi barely dodged. Body repel. The real Naruto, or one of them, called out, and Kakashi's punch glanced off as the blonde's torso briefly changed density and composition, deflecting the blow like rubber. This wasn't just impressive, this was revolutionary. This was a Kekkei Genkai that operated on principles Kakashi had never seen. And the kid was only 12. From the trees, Sasuke and Sakura watched in shock. How is he doing that? Sakura whispered. Sasuke's Sharingan spun, trying to track the movements. I can see the chakra, but it's not following any pattern I recognize. It's like he's changing his body at a fundamental level. One of the Naruto clones noticed them and called out, Hey, stop watching and help! This is a teamwork test. Sasuke gritted his teeth. His pride screamed at him to stay hidden, to come up with his own plan. But watching Naruto fight, the gap between them was obvious. If Sasuke wanted to get stronger, wanted to kill Itachi, he needed to learn from people stronger than him, even if that person was Naruto Uzumaki. Sakura, he said quietly, can you do the substitution jutsu? Of course. Good. When I give the signal, substitute with that log near Kakashi-sensei. It'll distract him for a second. Naruto's clones will capitalize on it. But how will Naruto know? He'll know, Sasuke said with certainty. He's been aware of us this whole time. Sasuke was right. Naruto's soul perception let him track every living thing in the area. He'd been waiting for his teammates to join in, fighting at about 60% to give them time to strategize. When Sakura suddenly substituted with the log, creating a cloud of leaves and smoke, Naruto knew it was time to finish the test. Now, he shouted. Rasengan! The technique formed in his hand, a spinning sphere of chakra that Kakashi's visible eye widened in recognition. That's the 4th Hokage's. But this wasn't a normal Rasengan. This one pulsed with blue light, infused with soul energy. When Naruto slammed it toward Kakashi, it wasn't meant to kill or seriously injure. It was designed to disrupt the flow of chakra through Kakashi's body by resonating with his soul itself. Rasengan, soul spiral. Kakashi had no choice but to dodge, which put him directly in Sasuke's path. Fire release. Fireball jutsu. The massive fireball forced Kakashi to substitute with a log, appearing behind Sasuke, right where 3 Naruto clones were waiting with kunai at bell height. In the chaos, Kakashi found himself genuinely impressed. They'd coordinated in seconds. Sakura's distraction, Sasuke's attack, Naruto's setup. Imperfect teamwork, born from desperation and adaptability rather than practice, but teamwork nonetheless. He let one bell get snagged. The alarm went off. Noon. All the Naruto clones dispelled except the original, who held up the bell triumphantly. Got one. Indeed you did. Kakashi smiled beneath his mask. Congratulations, you all pass. Wait, what? Sakura blinked. But there's only one bell and 3 of us. The test was never about the bells, Kakashi explained, his tone turning serious. It was about teamwork, about putting aside personal glory for the sake of your team. In the ninja world, those who abandon the mission are trash, but those who abandon their comrades are worse than trash. He looked at each of them. You 3 figured it out. Naruto, you called for help despite clearly being strong enough to fight me solo. Sasuke, you swallowed your pride and coordinated. Sakura, you followed through when it counted. He pulled out 2 more bells from his pocket. The 3rd bell was always there. I just wanted to see if you'd work together or fight each other. You worked together. Welcome to Team 7. Naruto's grin could have lit up the entire village. Awesome! I told you I'd be Hokage material, Dadabayo. Sasuke looked at him with grudging respect. That technique, the one where you changed your body, what was it? Naruto's expression grew more serious. That's complicated, but since we're teammates now, you should probably know. He glanced at Kakashi. All of you should. The explanation. They moved to a private training ground, away from prying eyes. Naruto sat on a rock while his 3 teammates gathered around. When I was 8 years old, Naruto began, his usual cheer muted. I got attacked by some villagers. They tried to kill me, and in self-defense, something awakened. I call it soul manipulation. He held up his hand and it began to morph. Fingers elongating, then shrinking, then returning to normal in a flowing organic transformation that made Sakura gasp. I can see and manipulate souls. Mine, other people's, animals, plants, anything with a soul. I can perceive it and change it. When I touch someone, I can reshape their body by reshaping their soul. I can heal injuries by returning the soul to its proper shape. I can modify my own body for combat, and I can do things with shadow clones that shouldn't be possible because I can link their souls together. Sasuke's Sharingan was active, studying the transformation. That's insane. That kind of power. It's terrifying, I know, Naruto interrupted. The first time I used it, I was so scared of what I'd done that I almost didn't use it again. But then I realized something. Power isn't good or evil. It's how you use it. I made a promise to myself that night. I'd use this ability to protect people, to save them, to be a hero, not a monster. Can you heal any injury? Kakashi asked, his mind already racing through the implications. Most of them. If someone's soul is still intact, if they're still alive, I can usually fix the damage. I've been practicing on animals and plants for years. Saved a lot of birds with broken wings, healed trees that were dying. Naruto's smile returned slightly. That's why I want to be Hokage. If I can use this scary power to protect everyone, then maybe people will finally see me as a person. Not whatever they think I am. Sakura spoke up quietly. Do people fear you because of this power? Some do, Naruto admitted. The ones who've seen it. But I don't use it unless I have to, and I never use it to kill if I can help it. I can immobilize enemies, heal allies, and protect my precious people. That's what matters. Sasuke was silent for a long moment. Then he said, Teach me. What? Teach me how to use that power. If you can manipulate souls, you can make me stronger. Strong enough to kill Itachi. Naruto's expression hardened. No. What? I won't help you kill anyone. Sasuke, I've seen your soul. I know what happened to your clan. I know why you want revenge. But I won't help you walk that path. Revenge doesn't heal anything. It just makes the pain spread. Sasuke's eyes flashed with anger. You don't understand. I understand plenty, Naruto said firmly. I understand that using my power to help you kill your brother would make me the exact opposite of what I want to be. I'll help you get stronger. I'll train with you. I'll fight beside you. Why? But I won't help you kill. That's not negotiable. The tension stretched between them. Kakashi broke it. Naruto's right, Sasuke, and frankly, using his abilities on you would be incredibly dangerous. Soul manipulation isn't like teaching someone a new jutsu. It's literally reshaping the core of your being. One mistake and you'd be changed, possibly permanently. I don't care, but I do, Naruto said. You're my teammate, my precious person now, and I protect my precious people, even from themselves. Sasuke wanted to argue more, but something in Naruto's eyes stopped him. That glow, that awareness that seemed to see straight through his bravado to the scared kid underneath. It was infuriating and comforting in equal measure. Fine, Sasuke bit out, but you better keep up with me in training. Naruto's grin returned full force. Keep up? I'll leave you in the dust, team. First mission, the wave arc begins. Their first few missions were standard D ranks, walking dogs, painting fences, catching cats. Naruto used soul perception to track the infamous Tora the cat in under 5 minutes, seeing her soul's annoyed resignation at being caught again. He gently immobilized her with a touch, not painfully, just enough to stop her from running, and returned her to the Fire Daimyo's wife without a single scratch. After 2 weeks of D ranks, Team 7 was ready for something more substantial. A C rank. Naruto cheered when Kakashi announced it. Finally, some real ninja work. The mission was simple. Escort Tazuna the bridge builder to the land of waves. Standard protection detail. Low risk of combat. That should have been the first red flag. They met Tazuna at the village gates. Naruto immediately activated soul perception and frowned. The old bridge builder's soul was clouded with fear, desperation, and guilt. Whatever this mission was, it wasn't simple. He's lying about something, Naruto whispered to Kakashi as they began walking. I can see it in his soul. He's scared of something specific, and he's not telling us the full truth. Kakashi's visible eyes sharpened. How certain are you? Completely. I'd bet my ramen supply on it. That's serious? Kakashi's tone was light, but he was already on high alert. Naruto might have been young, but his soul perception had yet to be wrong about anything. Keep your guard up, all of you. The attack came 3 hours into their journey. 2 missing nin from Kirigakure materialized from a puddle on the road, their chain weapons spinning toward Kakashi. The sensei was torn apart in seconds, shredded by the brutal attack. Sakura screamed. Sasuke tensed, kunai drawn. Naruto's eyes glowed bright blue. The demon brothers turned their attention to the genin, their chain weapon whistling through the air toward Naruto's neck, and stopped. Naruto had touched the chain with 2 fingers. Just 2 fingers. But where his skin made contact, the metal links began to warp and bend, transforming from steel into something more like rubber. The transformation spread along the entire length in seconds, rendering their primary weapon useless. What? One of the brothers started. Idle transfiguration, Naruto said calmly. I reshaped the molecular structure of your weapon. It's harmless now. He looked past them to where Kakashi was hiding, completely fine. Nice substitution, sensei, but I could see you weren't actually dead. Your soul is way too stubborn for that. Kakashi emerged from the trees, looking sheepish. You're too perceptive. The demon brothers, realizing they were outmatched, tried to flee. Shadow clone jutsu. Naruto created 4 clones that immediately gave chase. Within seconds, they tackled the missing nin to the ground. Don't kill them, Naruto called out. Just hold them. He walked over to where the 2 missing nin were pinned. Kneeling down, he placed a hand on each of their foreheads. His eyes glowed brighter. Let me show you what I see, he murmured. The demon brothers' eyes went wide as they experienced soul perception from Naruto's perspective, seeing their own souls laid bare. Every choice that had led them here, every moment where they could have chosen differently. The weight of their actions reflected back at them in perfect clarity. When Naruto released them, tears were streaming down their faces. You're not bad people, Naruto said quietly. You're desperate people who made bad choices. I'm not going to kill you. I'm not even going to hurt you. But I want you to remember what you just saw. Remember who you really are underneath all this, and maybe make better choices next time. He used idle transfiguration to immobilize them non-lethally, not painful, just impossible to use their limbs for combat. Kakashi-sensei can undo it when we get back to Konoha, or you can wait for it to wear off naturally in about 3 days. Either way, you're done being missing nin today. Tazuna stared at Naruto in shock. Kid, that was. Tazuna-san, Kakashi interrupted, his tone serious. I think you need to tell us the truth about this mission. Those were Chunin-level opponents. This was supposed to be a C rank. What aren't you telling us? The bridge builder broke down and explained everything. Gato, the bridge. The fact that he lied about the mission rank because Wave Country couldn't afford a proper protection detail. I understand, Naruto said when Tazuna finished. You're trying to save your country. That's heroic, but you put us in danger by lying. I know, Tazuna's voice cracked. I'm sorry, we're dying. Gato's killing us slowly and the bridge is our only hope. I thought if I could just get you to Wave Country, you'd help us even if it wasn't part of the mission. I was wrong to deceive you. Naruto looked at Kakashi. What do you think, Sensei? Officially, we should return to Konoha and refile this as an A-rank mission at minimum, Kakashi said. Unofficially, I think we should help. Agreed, Naruto said immediately. Sasuke and Sakura both nodded. Then let's continue, Kakashi decided. But everyone stays alert. If Gato is willing to hire missing Nin, there will be more attacks. He was right. The next attack came on the boat to Wave Country. Zabuza Momochi emerged from the mist like a nightmare made flesh, his massive cleaver sword gleaming in the dim light. Well, the copy ninja Kakashi. This is going to be fun. The battle that followed was intense. Zabuza's water release techniques turned the lake around them into a battlefield, creating a massive water prison that trapped Kakashi and forced the genin to fight alone. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto created 50 clones, surrounding Zabuza in seconds. Shadow Clone Soul Fusion. The clones merged their souls, creating a coordinated assault that pressed Zabuza hard. But the missing 9 was a Jonin for a reason. His experience and skill let him fight off the clones while maintaining the water prison. That's when Naruto saw her. A girl in a hunter nin mask, watching from the trees. Her soul was beautiful, gentle, kind, but filled with resigned sadness. She was prepared to intervene, to save Zabuza, but something about her soul told Naruto she hated violence. Hated killing. Wait, Naruto called out, even as he fought. Masked girl in the trees, I can see your soul. You don't want to be here. You don't want to fight. The hunter nin, Haku, flinched visibly. Zabuza snarled, Haku, now! But Naruto was already moving. Instead of attacking Zabuza directly, he created a shadow clone and sent it straight for Haku's position. Not to attack, to talk. The clone appeared beside her, hands raised peacefully. Hey, I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and I can see that you're a good person trapped in a bad situation. Am I right? Haku's Senbon needles were already in hand, but she hesitated. How? How can you see that? Soul perception. It's my Kekkei Genkai. I can see who people really are, past all the masks and pretenses. The Naruto clone smiled gently. You care about Zabuza, don't you? He saved you, gave you purpose, but you don't actually want to kill anyone. That doesn't matter, Haku said, her voice hollow behind the mask. I'm his tool, his weapon. What I want is irrelevant. Nobody should be a tool, Naruto said firmly. Everyone has worth beyond what they can do for other people. You're not just Zabuza's weapon. You're a person with your own dreams and desires. Those don't matter. They do to me. Naruto's clone was shining with conviction. Let me help you both. There's another way. You don't have to be missing Nin. You don't have to work for Gato. Let me show Zabuza-san what soul perception shows me. That you're both good people who've been backed into corners by a system that failed you. Haku's hands trembled. Zabuza-sama would never. Let me try, Naruto pleaded. Please, I don't want to fight you. I want to save you. Both of you. Down by the lake, the real Naruto was keeping Zabuza occupied with hit-and-run tactics, refusing to go for killing blows. Sasuke had joined the fight, his Sharingan active, learning from every exchange. Sakura was protecting Tazuna, her kunai steady despite her fear. What are you doing? Zabuza growled at Naruto. Fight seriously or die! I don't want to kill you. Naruto shouted back. I can see your soul, Zabuza-san. You're not evil. You tried to overthrow the Mizukage because his regime was cruel. You wanted to save your village. That's heroic, even if the method was flawed. Zabuza froze. How the hell do you know that? Soul perception shows me everything. Your pain, your dreams, the reason you took in Haku. You saw a kid with a bloodline limit being persecuted, and you remembered what Kirigakure did to people like that. You saved her because you have a good heart under all that bravado. Shut up! But Zabuza's voice cracked slightly. You don't know anything. I know that Gato is using you, Naruto pressed. I know he's planning to betray you. I can see it in his subordinate souls. They're supposed to kill you once the bridge builder is dead. You're being played. From the trees, Haku's voice rang out. Zabuza-sama, is this true? Zabuza's expression darkened. Haku, don't. I've been watching Gato's men, she said quietly, dropping from the trees. She pulled off her mask, revealing her gentle face. They look at us like we're disposable, like weapons to be thrown away once we've served our purpose. Naruto-kun is right, isn't he? The water prison around Kakashi dropped as Zabuza's concentration shattered. The missing nine stood rigid, his massive sword gripped tight. It doesn't matter. We're too far gone. We're missing Nin. There's no going back. There is, Kakashi said, emerging from the lake. Konoha has a system for reformed missing Nin. You'd have to serve probation, do community service, prove you're no longer a threat. But it's possible, especially if your intel on Gato leads to his capture and your primary crimes were against Kirigakure, not Konoha. Why would you offer this? Zabuza asked suspiciously. Because my student is right, Kakashi said simply. You're not evil. You're desperate. And Konoha values skilled shinobi who can be reformed. The Hokage would see the strategic value in turning enemies into allies. Naruto stepped forward. Let me show you, both of you. Let me use soul perception so you can see what I see. See that you're not beyond redemption. See that there's still a path forward that doesn't end in death. Zabuza and Haku exchanged glances. Then slowly, Zabuza nodded. Fine, show me this supposedly miraculous soul sight. Naruto walked up to Zabuza and Haku, placing a hand on each of their foreheads. His eyes blazed with bright blue light. Soul perception, shared vision. For 30 seconds, Zabuza and Haku saw themselves as Naruto saw them. The beauty and strength of their souls, the pain that had twisted them toward violence, the fundamental goodness that remained despite everything, the possibility of who they could become. When it ended, Zabuza was crying. The feared demon of the hidden mist, tears streaming down his face. I was so sure I was beyond saving, he whispered. So sure I'd failed completely. You haven't, Naruto said gently. You just need a new path. Help us take down Gato, then come back to Konoha and start over, both of you. Haku was crying too, clutching Zabuza's arm. Can we really do this, Zabuza-sama? Yeah. Zabuza's voice was rough but determined. Yeah, I think we can. The battle on the bridge. Gato's final attack came 3 days later. Naruto had spent that time getting to know Zabuza and Haku, learning their techniques, sharing training sessions. They'd become something unexpected, friends. When Gato arrived at the bridge with over 100 mercenaries and thugs ready to kill Tazuna and destroy the bridge, he found Team 7, Zabuza, and Haku waiting. Well, Gato sneered. The missing 9 and the Leaf Ninja working together? That's unexpected. But it doesn't matter. You're outnumbered 50-1. Naruto stepped forward, his eyes glowing. Numbers don't matter when you're facing someone who can see your souls, and I can see every single one of you. Greedy, cruel, broken people who hurt others for money. His voice carried across the bridge. I'm going to give you one chance to leave. Drop your weapons and go, or I'll show you what soul manipulation can really do. They laughed. That was their mistake. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Shadow Clone Soul Fusion. Naruto created 200 clones, their souls interlinked, surrounding the entire mercenary army. Then he touched the ground. Idle transfiguration. Mass immobilization. The technique spread like a wave. Every mercenary and thug within 30 feet found their legs suddenly frozen, bones and muscles reshaped to prevent movement without causing pain. They could stand but not walk, could yell but not fight. In 10 seconds, Naruto had neutralized half of Gato's forces. The rest broke and ran. Gato himself tried to flee, but Haku's ice release sealed off his escape route, while Zabuza's sword blocked the other direction. They dragged him back to the bridge where Naruto was waiting. I should kill you, Naruto said, looking at Gato with disgust. Your soul is rotten. You've hurt so many people, destroyed so many lives. But I made a promise to myself. I use my power to save people, not to execute them. So here's what's going to happen. He touched Gato's forehead, and his eyes blazed brighter than ever. Soul perception, total exposure. Gato's mind was flooded with the experiences of everyone he'd ever hurt. Every starving family in Wave Country, every person beaten by his thugs, every dream crushed under his greed. All of it reflected back at him in perfect, crystal clear empathy. When Naruto released him, Gato was catatonic, his mind shattered by the weight of his own cruelty. He'll live, Naruto said quietly. But he'll never hurt anyone again. His soul is changed, permanently aware of the pain he caused. Take him to the authorities in Wave Country. Let them decide his fate. Tazuna stared at Naruto with something like awe. You're not just a ninja, you're a force of nature. I'm just a kid trying to be a hero, Naruto said with a tired smile. Come on, team, let's go home. Chunin exams registration. 3 months later, Kakashi recommended Team 7 for the Chunin exams. Already? Sakura asked nervously. We've only been a team for 4 months. You're ready, Kakashi said confidently. Especially Naruto. His abilities have developed to the point where he's already operating at Chunin level or higher. Sasuke's Sharingan is progressing rapidly. And Sakura, your tactical thinking and chakra control are excellent. You're ready for this. The exams were being held in Konoha, which meant ninja from every major village would be attending. Naruto felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. This was his chance to show the entire ninja world what he could do, to prove that soul manipulation could be heroic. The first exam was a written test designed to encourage cheating without getting caught. Naruto didn't need to cheat. His soul perception let him sense the emotions and confidence levels of everyone in the room. He could tell which answers were correct based on who was most certain. He aced it in 20 minutes. The second exam was the Forest of Death, which brought us full circle to where we started, Naruto transforming the Sound Ninja's arm to protect Sakura. After explaining his abilities to his teammates, they ventured deeper into the forest, collecting both scrolls within 6 hours. Naruto's soul perception made it trivially easy to locate other teams and assess their threat levels. They encountered Team 8, Hinata, Kiba, and Shino. Hinata's soul was fascinating to Naruto. It glowed with a gentle lavender light, filled with admiration and affection, directed at him. Hinata-chan, Naruto said gently. Are you okay? You've been staring. She promptly fainted. I think she likes you, Kiba said with a grin. She's talked about you since the academy. Really? Naruto looked at Hinata's unconscious form with new understanding. When he focused his soul perception on her, he could see it clearly. Genuine affection, respect for his strength, appreciation for his kindness. Huh? You're just now noticing? Shino asked, his bugs buzzing around him. Why? Because the entire academy knew. I've been focused on training, Naruto admitted, but I see it now. Her soul is beautiful, kind and gentle and strong in ways she doesn't give herself credit for. When Hinata woke up, Naruto smiled at her warmly. Hey, Hinata-chan, you don't need to be nervous around me, okay? I think you're amazing. Your Byakugan is incredible, and you're way braver than you think. I'd love to train with you sometime. Hinata's face went bright red, but she managed to whisper, I'd like that, Naruto-kun. They agreed to help each other reach the tower, combining their skills. Hinata's Byakugan and Naruto's soul perception made them nearly unbeatable at reconnaissance. They reached the tower in first place, with hours to spare. Preliminary matches. The preliminary rounds were held to reduce the number of contestants for the final exam. Naruto's match was against Kiba Inuzuka. Don't hold back, Kiba said confidently. Akamaru and I are going to show everyone what Team 8 can do. Naruto smiled. I won't, but I'm also not going to hurt you seriously. You're a good guy, Kiba. The match began. Kiba and Akamaru launched their combination attacks, fang over fang, spinning like drills. Fast, powerful, difficult to counter. Naruto didn't dodge. His body rippled and shifted, becoming semi-corporeal. Body repel! The drilling attack passed through him like he was made of water. Then he resolidified and tagged Kiba with a light touch. Idle transfiguration, non-lethal immobilization. Kiba's legs locked up, preventing movement but causing no pain. Akamaru barked in alarm. Sorry, buddy, Naruto said to the dog. Your partner is fine. I just temporarily reshaped his leg muscles. He'll be back to normal in an hour. Winner, Naruto Uzumaki, Hayate Gecko announced. Other matches followed. Sasuke defeated some random sound ninja. Sakura fought Ino to a draw, both getting knocked out simultaneously. Neji brutally defeated Hinata, nearly killing her, which made Naruto's eyes blaze with fury from the stands. He damaged her soul, Naruto whispered to Kakashi. Attacked her chakra points so viciously that it hurt her fundamental being. I need to heal her. After the preliminaries, Kakashi said quietly, I know you want to help, but causing a scene now won't benefit anyone. Naruto's fists clenched, but he nodded. When the preliminaries ended, he immediately went to the medical wing where Hinata was being treated. The medical ninja were concerned. Her chakra system had been severely damaged, and recovery would take months. "Let me try something," Naruto said. "Please, I have a healing technique that might help." The head medical ninja, a woman who recognized Naruto from his file, hesitated. "Your soul manipulation? That's untested for medical applications. I've been using it to heal animals and plants for years," Naruto said desperately. "I've studied anatomy, chakra systems, everything I could learn. Please, she's my friend. Let me help her." They allowed it, mostly because the alternative was months of painful recovery. Naruto placed his hands on Hinata's chakra points, closed his eyes, and activated soul perception at its deepest level. He could see her soul, see the damage Neji had inflicted, see the disrupted pathways. "Soul restoration technique," he whispered. Blue light flowed from his hands into Hinata's body. Her soul began to repair itself, chakra pathways realigning, damaged points healing. It took 20 minutes of intense concentration, sweat dripping down Naruto's face. When he finished, Hinata's eyes fluttered open. "Hey," he said with a tired smile. "How do you feel?" She sat up slowly, then gasped. "My chakra? It's flowing normally. The pain is gone? You healed me?" "Soul restoration," Naruto explained. "I fixed the damage to your chakra system by repairing your soul structure. You should be completely healed." The medical ninja were stunned. Months of recovery, erased in 20 minutes. Hinata threw her arms around Naruto, crying, thank you so much." He hugged her back gently. "You're my precious person, Hinata-chan. I'll always protect you." From the doorway, several people watched the scene. Hiyashi Hyuga, Hinata's father, looked thoughtful. Neji, who'd followed his uncle, looked conflicted, and Kakashi smiled beneath his mask, proud of his student. First match. The Chunin exam finals were held 1 month later, giving everyone time to train. Naruto spent that month refining his techniques, developing new applications of soul manipulation, and training with Zabuza and Haku, who'd officially joined Konoha as probationary Chunin. "Your soul techniques are incredible," Zabuza admitted during a sparring session. "But you're still too hesitant to go for the kill. In a real battle, that hesitation could cost you." "I know," Naruto said, "but I'm not trying to be the strongest killer. I'm trying to be the strongest protector. There's a difference." "What happens when you face someone you can't save? Someone too far gone?" Naruto's expression darkened. "Then I'll do what I must, but I'll try to save them first. Every single time." The day of the finals arrived with fanfare and crowds. The arena was packed with spectators, including the third Hokage and various dignitaries from other nations. Naruto's first match was against Neji Hyuga. The Hyuga prodigy stood across from him with cold confidence. "You shouldn't have interfered with Hinata. She needs to understand her place as a failure." "That's where you're wrong," Naruto said, his usual cheer replaced with serious determination. "Hinata-chan isn't a failure. She's kind, strong, and brave, and I'm going to prove to you that destiny is garbage." "Fate cannot be changed," Neji stated. "The strong rule the weak. The main branch rules the side branch. You with your demon fox are fated to be." "Don't," Naruto interrupted, his eyes beginning to glow. "Don't talk about things you don't understand. I know about your seal. I can see it on your soul. I know the main branch controls you. I know you're bitter and angry about your father's sacrifice, but that doesn't give you the right to hurt Hinata-chan." "Begin," Hayate announced. Neji charged immediately. 8 trigrams, 64 palms. His hands moved in a blur, striking at Naruto's chakra points with precision. Each hit should have sealed a point, should have crippled Naruto's ability to mold chakra. But Naruto's body shifted with each strike, his soul manipulation allowing him to temporarily relocate his chakra points, making Neji hit empty space where points used to be. What? Neji's Byakugan could see the chakra points moving in real time, an impossibility according to everything he knew. "Soul manipulation," Naruto explained. "I can reshape my body at will. Your gentle fist is useless against me." He touched Neji's shoulder. "Now let me show you something. Idol transfiguration. Curse seal removal." Blue light blazed from Naruto's hand, flowing into Neji's forehead. The Hyuga's eyes went wide in shock and pain as Naruto's soul energy carefully, precisely unraveled the curse seal that had bound the side branch for generations. In the stands, Hiyashi Hyuga rose from his seat. That's impossible! On the arena floor, the curse seal on Neji's forehead began to fade. Not removed entirely, that would take more time and precision, but significantly weakened. Naruto had damaged it beyond functionality in just a few seconds. Your destiny, Naruto said quietly as Neji stared at him in shock, is not written by anyone else, not by your clan, not by fate, only by you. You're free now. What are you going to do with that freedom? Tears streamed down Neji's face. I don't understand. Why would you do this? I hurt Hinata. I've been cruel to you. Because you're not beyond saving, Naruto said with his characteristic smile. Nobody is. And because I want to prove to everyone watching that power can be used to free people, not just to hurt them. I forfeit, Neji said, his voice choked with emotion. I can't fight you. Not after this. The crowd erupted in confusion and amazement. In the Kage box, the third Hokage smiled slightly. That boy will be Hokage one day, mark my words. The Kazekage, secretly Orochimaru in disguise, watched with intense interest. Such power, I must have it. Konoha crush. The invasion began during Naruto's match against Gaara. The Jinchuriki of the One Tail was unstable, violent, his soul fractured and screaming with the voice of Shikaku. Naruto saw it immediately with soul perception. Gaara was in constant pain, constantly fighting for control, never allowed to sleep or rest. I'm going to crush you, Gaara hissed, his sand already rising. Prove my existence by killing you. You're not a monster, Naruto said firmly. You're a person who's been treated like a monster. I can see your soul, Gaara. I can see the pain. Let me help you. Help? Gaara laughed, the sound slightly unhinged. Nobody can help me. Mother demands blood. Shadow clone jutsu. Shadow clone soul fusion. Naruto created 50 clones, their souls linked. They surrounded Gaara, not attacking, just forming a barrier. Then Naruto did something unprecedented. He walked straight toward Gaara, arms open, no defensive stance. Naruto, what are you doing? Sakura screamed from the stands. Gaara's sand shot toward him, a killing blow, and stopped inches from Naruto's face. Why? Gaara whispered. Why aren't you afraid? Because I understand, Naruto said gently. I have something sealed inside me too, something people fear, but I'm not that thing. You're not Shikaku, you're Gaara of the sand, and you deserve peace. He placed his hand on Gaara's shoulder, and his eyes blazed with intense blue light. Let me show you something. Soul restoration, Jinchuriki stabilization. Naruto poured his soul energy into Gaara, not attacking the seal, not trying to remove Shikaku, but instead reinforcing the barrier between Gaara's consciousness and the beast's influence, making it easier for Gaara to maintain control, easing the constant psychic pressure. For the first time in his life, Gaara felt quiet. The screaming in his mind softened to a whisper. What did you do? He breathed. Gave you peace, Naruto said. You're still the One-Tail's Jinchuriki, but now you have better control. You can sleep, you can rest, you can be a person, not just a weapon. That's when the invasion began in earnest. Sound and Sand Ninja poured into the stadium, attacking civilians and shinobi alike. Genjutsu fell over the arena. And in the chaos, Orochimaru revealed himself, taking the third Hokage hostage. Kakashi-sensei! Naruto called out. Protect the civilians. I'm going after the Hokage. Naruto wait, but Naruto was already gone, racing across the rooftops toward where he could sense the third Hokage's soul, under attack, weakening, in desperate danger. He arrived to find Orochimaru's 4 violet flames formation barrier in place, with the third Hokage inside fighting the reanimated first and second Hokage. I need to break through, Naruto muttered, studying the barrier with soul perception. He could see the souls of the 4 sound ninja maintaining it, see the way their life force was being drained to power the technique. Rasengan, soul spiral! He slammed the technique into the barrier. The soul-infused chakra resonated with the barrier's structure, disrupting it. The 4 violet flames formation cracked, weakened. Impossible! One of the sound force shouted. This barrier can't be broken from outside. Everything has a soul, Naruto said grimly. Even techniques. And I can manipulate souls. He hit the barrier again, and it shattered. Orochimaru turned, his snake-like eyes widening. You, the boy with soul manipulation, interesting. Get away from the Hoge. Naruto charged, clones materializing around him. The battle that followed was intense. Orochimaru was a legendary Sannin, his techniques varied and deadly. But Naruto's soul manipulation made him uniquely suited to counter the Snake Sanin's body-swapping immortality technique. "You can't possess what you can't touch," Naruto said, dodging a sword strike. "And soul perception shows me every time you try to invade someone's body. I can see your soul trying to spread like a parasite. Then I'll kill you the old-fashioned way." Orochimaru's neck extended impossibly, his sword stabbing toward Naruto's heart. Naruto caught the blade with his bare hand. His palm transformed, becoming harder than steel through rapid cellular restructuring. Body repel. Absolute defense. He yanked the sword away and touched Orochimaru's extended neck. Idle transfiguration. Temporary paralysis. The transformation spread along Orochimaru's body, locking up his muscles. It wouldn't last long. Orochimaru's regeneration and body modification techniques were fighting against it, but it gave the third Hokage time to recover. "Naruto," the Hokage gasped. "You shouldn't be here. I'm not letting you die, old man." Naruto's eyes were blazing. "Not today." Together, they pushed back against Orochimaru and the reanimated Hokage. Naruto used soul manipulation to disrupt the impure world reincarnation technique, not breaking it entirely, but weakening the control. The first and second Hokage's movements became sluggish, their attacks less coordinated. "This is getting troublesome," Orochimaru hissed. "Kabuto, we're retreating." "Running away?" Naruto taunted. "That's not very legendary Sanin of you." But Orochimaru was already gone, vanishing into the chaos of the invasion with his subordinates. Naruto turned to the third Hokage, who looked exhausted but alive. "Are you okay, Hokage-sama?" "Thanks to you," the old man said with a tired smile. "That technique, you disrupted the Edo Tensei. That should be impossible for someone your age." "Soul manipulation is weird," Naruto admitted. "It breaks a lot of rules." They returned to the stadium together, where the invasion was being pushed back by Konoha forces, aided by Gaara, who turned against his own village's forces, protecting civilians instead of attacking them. "I owe you a debt," Gaara said to Naruto as the fighting died down. "You gave me something I thought I'd never have. Hope." "You don't owe me anything," Naruto replied. "Just promise you'll use your power to protect people, not hurt them. That's all I ask." "I promise." Tsunade retrieval. Weeks later, the third Hokage announced his retirement. The battle with Orochimaru had taken too much out of him, and while Naruto's intervention had saved his life, it was clear he could no longer effectively lead the village. "We need to find Tsunade," Jiraiya announced, appearing in Konoha with his usual dramatic flair. "She's one of the legendary Sannin, a master of medical ninjutsu, and the granddaughter of the first Hokage. She's perfect for the role of fifth Hokage." "Then let's go find her," Naruto said enthusiastically. "I've always wanted to meet another legendary ninja." Team 7, accompanied by Jiraiya, set out to track down Tsunade. They found her in a gambling town, drunk and irritable, accompanied by her assistant Shizune. "Another Gaki wanting to be Hokage," Tsunade sneered when Jiraiya explained their mission. "The Hokage position is cursed. Everyone who takes it dies young. I want nothing to do with it." "That's because you're scared," Naruto said bluntly. Tsunade's expression turned dangerous. "What did you say?" "You're scared of getting close to people because you've lost everyone you loved. Your brother Nawaki, your lover Dan. You hide behind gambling and drinking because facing the pain is too hard." Naruto's soul perception saw through every layer of her defenses. "But running doesn't make the pain go away. It just means the people who need you can't reach you." "You little..." Tsunade raised her fist, chakra-enhanced strength ready to pulverize Naruto. He didn't flinch. "Hit me if you want. But I'm not wrong, and you know it." Tsunade's fist stopped inches from his face. She was trembling. "How dare you?" "I dare because I care," Naruto said gently. "Konoha needs you. The village your grandfather founded needs its princess to come home. And maybe you need Konoha too. Maybe you need to stop running and start healing, yourself and others. You know nothing about loss." "I know everything about loss," Naruto interrupted. "I grew up alone. No parents, no family. The village hated me for something I couldn't control. But I didn't let that make me bitter. I didn't run away. I stayed and fought to prove myself, to prove that even someone feared and alone could be a hero." Tsunade studied him with new eyes. "You're not just some cocky genin, are you?" "I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and I have a Kekkei Genkai called soul manipulation." He held up his hand, letting it transform briefly. I can see souls, reshape bodies, heal injuries that normal medical ninjutsu can't touch. And I can see that your soul is in pain, Tsunade-sama. Let me help? You can't heal grief, kid. No, but I can show you that it's worth continuing anyway. That the people you loved wouldn't want you to give up on life. Naruto's eyes glowed softly. Want to see what your brother and Dan really thought about you? Soul perception can show memories, emotions, the truth that lives in people's hearts. That's not possible. Try me. After a long moment, Tsunade held out her hand. Fine, show me. But if you're lying, I'll break every bone in your body. Naruto took her hand gently and activated soul perception at its deepest level. He reached into Tsunade's memories, found the echoes of Nawaki and Dan that lived in her heart, and reflected them back to her with perfect clarity. Their love for her, their pride in her strength, their hope that she'd continue living fully even after they were gone. Tsunade was openly crying when the technique ended. They really felt that way? They did, Naruto confirmed. And they'd want you to be Hokage, to honor their memories by protecting the village they loved. All right, Tsunade said, wiping her eyes. All right, you persuasive little brat. I'll take the position, but only if you promise to continue developing that medical application of your soul manipulation. With training, you could revolutionize medical ninjutsu. Deal! Naruto's grin was incandescent, Sasuke's defection. But not everything went according to plan. 2 months after Tsunade became 5th Hokage, Sasuke Uchiha grew increasingly frustrated. Despite training hard, despite pushing himself to the limit, he could see the gap between himself and Naruto growing wider instead of narrower. How am I supposed to kill Itachi when I can't even match you? Sasuke demanded during a training session. You have this incredible power, and I have, what? A Sharingan that can't keep up with your soul techniques? Sasuke, you're strong, not strong enough. Sasuke's eyes were wild. Orochimaru offered me power, real power. Power that could let me finally kill Itachi and avenge my clan. Naruto's expression turned serious. Orochimaru will destroy you. His power comes with a price. Your body, your soul, your identity. He wants to possess you, Sasuke. I can see it in his soul. He views you as a vessel, not a student. I don't care what he wants. I'll use his power and then kill him too. That's not how it works. You wouldn't understand, Sasuke shouted. You weren't there. You didn't watch your entire family get slaughtered by the person you trusted most. You didn't have to step over your parents' corpses to survive. You have no idea what I'm going through. You're right, Naruto said quietly. I wasn't there. I don't know what that's like, but I do know what it's like to be consumed by something dark. I have the 9 tails sealed inside me, Sasuke. I know what it's like to have power that could easily corrupt. That's why I fight so hard to use it for good. Because giving in to darkness doesn't make you strong. It makes you a slave to your pain. Then I'll be a slave, Sasuke said coldly. If it gets me strong enough to kill Itachi, I'll pay any price. He left that night. The Sound Four came to retrieve him, and despite Team 7's attempts to stop them, Sasuke chose to go willingly. Naruto, Shikamachoji, Neji, and Kiba formed a retrieval team, racing after Sasuke into the forest. Each member of the Sound Four was powerful, and the team had to split up to face them individually. Naruto finally caught up to Sasuke at the Valley of the End, the same place where the first Hokage had fought Madara Uchiha generations ago. Sasuke! Naruto called out. Don't do this. You don't have to go to Orochimaru. Get out of my way, Naruto. Sasuke's Sharingan was active, spinning. I don't want to fight you, but I will if I have to. Then you'll have to. Naruto's eyes began to glow, because I'm not letting you throw your life away. You're my friend, my precious person, and I protect my precious people, even from themselves. You keep saying that, Sasuke snarled. But you don't understand what I need. Power, strength, the ability to make Itachi pay. I understand revenge, Naruto said. I understand pain, but I also understand that revenge won't heal you. It'll just make the pain spread to everyone around you. Please, Sasuke, come back to Konoha, train with me, get stronger the right way. Your way is too slow, Sasuke charged, lightning crackling around his hand. Chidori. Naruto didn't dodge. Instead, he created a single shadow clone and began forming his own technique. Rasengan. The two techniques collided in a massive explosion of chakra that devastated the landscape around them. When the dust cleared, Naruto and Sasuke were both standing, battered but alive. "I can end this right now," Naruto said quietly. "I can use idle transfiguration to immobilize you, carry you back to Konoha whether you want to go or not. But that wouldn't solve anything. You just resent me and run away again first chance you got." "Then let me go," Sasuke demanded. "I can't do that either." Naruto walked forward slowly. "So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you something. Something I've never shown anyone, the full extent of what soul manipulation can really do." His eyes blazed brighter than ever before, and he touched the ground. Domain expansion, self-embodiment of perfection. The world around them changed. Space warped. For a radius of 30 feet, reality became Naruto's domain, a place where his soul techniques were absolutely guaranteed to hit, where he had complete control over the concept of souls and their manipulation. Inside the domain, Sasuke could see it. Every soul in the area, laid bare. His own soul, fractured and bleeding from pain and rage. Naruto's soul, bright and determined and fundamentally kind despite everything. The echoes of the battle that had occurred here decades ago, the souls of the first Hokage and Madara Uchiha, still resonating in the stones. "This is my full power," Naruto said. "In this domain, I could reshape your soul completely, make you forget Itachi, remove your pain, force you to return to Konoha. But I won't, because that would make me the same as everyone who's tried to control you, to use you as a tool." He deactivated the domain, and the world returned to normal. "I'm going to make you a promise instead," Naruto continued. "I'm going to get stronger, strong enough to face Itachi, strong enough to protect you even from your own revenge. And when you're ready, when you've realized that Orochimaru's power is empty and destructive, I'll be waiting to welcome you back. No judgment, no conditions, just friendship." Sasuke was trembling. Why do you care so much about someone who's abandoning you?" "Because that's what friends do," Naruto said simply. "They don't give up on each other, ever. So go if you have to. Get Orochimaru's power if you think it'll help. But remember, no matter how far you go, no matter what you do, I'll always be here to bring you home. That's my promise of a lifetime." Sasuke's Sharingan was spinning, tears streaming down his face. "You're an idiot, Dobe." "Yeah," Naruto agreed with a sad smile, "but I'm your idiot." Sasuke turned and left, disappearing into the forest toward the Sound Village. Naruto stood alone at the Valley of the End-Death, looking at the statues of the first Hokage and Madara. "I failed today," he whispered, "but I won't fail forever. I'll get strong enough to save everyone, even the people who don't want to be saved." Training with Jiraiya. When Naruto returned to Konoha and reported Sasuke's defection, Tsunade and Jiraiya made a decision. "You need proper training," Jiraiya said. "Your soul manipulation is incredible, but it's raw, unrefined, and you have the nine tails sealed inside you. It's time you learn to work with it properly." "Training? You mean leaving the village?" Naruto asked. "For 3 years," Tsunade confirmed. "Jiraiya will teach you everything he knows. You'll learn summoning, senjutsu, advanced sealing techniques, and how to control the Nine Tails' power. When you return, you'll be ready to bring Sasuke home and face any threat to Konoha." Naruto looked around the Hokage's office, at Tsunade behind her desk, at Sakura and Kakashi standing nearby, at Hinata who'd come to see him off. 3 years is a long time," he said quietly. "You'll be stronger for it," Kakashi assured him, "and we'll all be here waiting when you get back." Hinata stepped forward, her face red but determined. "Nin, Naruto-kun, I wanted to give you something before you left." She held out a scarf, hand-knitted, dark blue with orange trim. "I made it for you so you'll remember to come back. To us. To me." Naruto took the scarf gently, wrapping it around his neck. It fit perfectly. "Thank you, Hinata-chan. I'll treasure this. And when I get back, I want to take you to Ichiraku for ramen. As a date, if you want." Hinata promptly fainted into Sakura's arms, but the smile on her unconscious face said everything. "That was smooth," Sakura said with a laugh. "When did you become good with girls?" "Soul perception helps," Naruto admitted with a grin. "I can see when people care about me now. Took me long enough to notice, but I finally did." The goodbyes took hours. Everyone in the Konoha 11 came to see him off. Iruka gave him a new kunai set. Tochi and Ayame from Ichiraku gave him a lifetime supply of instant ramen. Even Tsunade got misty-eyed, though she tried to hide it. As the sun set, Naruto and Jiraiya stood at the village gates. Ready for the adventure of a lifetime? Jiraiya asked. Naruto looked back at Konoha, his home, his precious place, and smiled. Yeah, let's do this. I've got promises to keep. They walked into the sunset, beginning 3 years of training that would transform Naruto from a powerful genin into something extraordinary. Training montage, the 3-year journey. The first year focused on basics. Jiraiya pushed Naruto harder than Kakashi ever had, forcing him to master summoning techniques, advanced taijutsu, and elemental manipulation. Naruto learned to combine his soul manipulation with traditional ninjutsu, creating hybrid techniques that were uniquely his own. Shadow Clone Soul Fusion is brilliant, Jiraiya admitted during a training session. But you're using it inefficiently. Each clone should have a distinct purpose. Some for combat, some for reconnaissance, some for support. Diversify. Naruto took the advice to heart, developing specialized clone types, combat clones, enhanced physical abilities through targeted soul modification, scout clones, maximize soul perception range, perfect for reconnaissance, healer clones, focused entirely on soul restoration techniques, trap clones, designed to immobilize enemies on contact with idle transfiguration. The second year pushed deeper. Jiraiya introduced Naruto to the concept of Sage Mode, drawing on natural energy to enhance all abilities. Naruto's soul manipulation made learning Sage Mode uniquely challenging because his soul was constantly in flux, constantly adapting. But once he mastered the balance, the results were extraordinary. Sage Mode, Soul Perception Enhancement. Naruto called out during training. In this state, he could see souls from miles away, detect lies with perfect accuracy, and understand someone's entire history just by looking at them. But the most significant development came when Jiraiya helped Naruto finally communicate with the Nine Tails. Standing before the massive fox sealed within his mind, Naruto used soul perception to see the truth. Kurama wasn't just a mindless beast. He was an intelligent, ancient being who'd been used as a weapon by countless people, never given respect or acknowledgement. You're like me, Naruto said quietly. Powerful but feared, used but never appreciated. I'm sorry for what's been done to you, Kurama. The Nine Tails' eyes widened. No Jinchuriki had ever apologized before. What do you want, brat? Kurama growled. Partnership, Naruto said simply. Not mastery, not control. Partnership. You lend me your strength. I use it to protect people, including you. We work together instead of fighting each other. What do you say? It took weeks of conversation, of Naruto visiting the seal every day to talk with Kurama. Slowly, grudgingly, the Nine Tails began to respect the blonde kid who saw him as a person rather than a tool. By the end of the second year, Kurama had granted Naruto access to his chakra without trying to take over. The orange-red energy enhanced Naruto's soul manipulation to terrifying levels. Nine Tails Soul Manifestation. Naruto called out during a training battle with Jiraiya. Kurama's chakra formed a cloak around him, but instead of the mindless rage of previous Jinchuriki, this chakra was perfectly controlled, enhanced by soul manipulation. He could reshape the chakra like clay, form additional limbs, and even project his soul energy as a visible, tangible force. Jiraiya was thrown back by the sheer power. That's incredible. You're already beyond most jonin, Naruto. The third year focused on refinement and preparation. Naruto developed his ultimate techniques, soul chain binding, combining Uzumaki chakra chains with soul energy to bind enemies at a metaphysical level. Transcendent Rasengan, a Rasengan infused with natural energy and soul manipulation that could damage or heal depending on Naruto's intent. Army of the Enlightened, creating 1,000 shadow clones with soul fusion, making each one as strong as a chunin. Soul restoration, mass healing, healing multiple people simultaneously by spreading his soul energy in a field. But most importantly, Naruto learned restraint. Power without control is just destruction, Jiraiya said during their final training session. You have enough power to level mountains now, Naruto. The question is, will you? Every technique you've developed can kill or save. You'll need to choose in the moment and live with those choices. I know, Naruto said seriously. That's why I train so hard on non-lethal applications. I want to be strong enough that I never have to kill, that I can always find another way. That's not always possible, Jiraiya warned. Then I'll make it possible, Naruto replied with determination. That's what it means to be Hokage, finding solutions nobody else can see, protecting everyone, even the enemies. That's my ninja way." Jiraiya smiled. "Your father would be proud of you. The fourth Hokage fought to protect, not destroy. You inherited his best qualities." My father? It was time. Time for Naruto to know the truth about his parents. They sat on a cliff overlooking the ocean, the sun setting in the distance. "Your father was Minato Namikaze," Jiraiya said quietly, "the fourth Hokage. Your mother was Kushina Uzumaki, the previous Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. They died sealing Kurama inside you to protect the village from a masked attacker." Naruto was silent, absorbing the information. Inside his mind, Kurama rumbled, "That's the truth, kid. Your parents sacrificed everything for you in the village." "Why didn't anyone tell me?" Naruto's voice was tight with emotion. "The third Hokage wanted to protect you from your father's enemies and from the burden of his legacy. He wanted you to be Naruto, not just the fourth Hokage's son. But I could have known I wasn't alone, that I had parents who loved me." Tears streamed down Naruto's face. "I could have known they died heroes, not whatever the villagers thought." Jiraiya placed a hand on his shoulder. "I'm sorry, we failed you in that, but your parents did love you, Naruto, more than anything. That's why they sealed Kurama inside you, because they knew you were strong enough to carry that burden and still remain kind." Naruto cried for a long time, grieving the parents he'd never known, angry at the secrets kept from him, but also grateful to finally know the truth. "I'll make them proud," he said eventually, wiping his eyes. "I'll become Hokage like Dad. I'll master the Nine Tails like Mom, and I'll prove that their sacrifice wasn't in vain." "You already have," Jiraiya said warmly. "You already have." Return to Konoha. 3 years to the day since he'd left, Naruto Uzumaki returned to Konoha. He was taller now, having hit a growth spurt in the second year. His blonde hair was longer, tied back with Hinata's scarf. His orange jumpsuit had been replaced with something more practical: black pants, an orange jacket, and the Konoha flak vest he'd earned as a chunin through his accomplishments during the invasion. He was no longer the loud genin who'd left. He was something more, something that made people stop and stare as he walked through the village gates. "Naruto?" Sakura was the first to see him. She'd grown too, stronger, more confident, trained by Tsunade in medical ninjutsu and her signature strength. "Is that really you?" He turned and smiled, the same bright, genuine smile that had always been his trademark. "Hey, Sakura-chan, long time no see." She punched him in the arm, not hard enough to hurt, just enough to confirm he was real. "You jerk, 3 years without a single letter." "I was training, no time for letters." He laughed, rubbing his arm. "You've gotten stronger, I can see it in your soul. Tsunade-sama taught you well." Soul, perception. Sakura's expression grew more serious. "Naruto, your eyes, they're different." He knew what she meant. His soul manipulation had advanced so much that his eyes now carried a permanent faint blue glow, visible in dim light, obvious when he activated his abilities fully. "Yeah, I've gotten a lot stronger. Wanna see?" Later came a lazy voice. Kakashi appeared with his typical tardiness. "First, let's debrief with the Hokage, then you can show off." The reunion with Tsunade was warm but professional. She wanted a full report of his training, his abilities, his current threat assessment. Naruto provided it all, demonstrating his new techniques in the Hokage's private training ground. When he showed off his Nine-Tails chakra cloak combined with soul manipulation, even Tsunade was impressed. "You've surpassed most jonin," she said bluntly. "At 15 years old, you're already approaching Kage-level power. Your father would be proud." "You knew?" Naruto asked quietly. "Everyone of jonin rank or higher knew," Tsunade admitted. "The third Hokage's secrecy order prevented us from telling you, but now that you know, yes, Minato was my grandfather's student, part of our family in a way, which makes you family too." The sentiment warmed Naruto more than any technique ever could. Hinata's confession. That evening, Naruto went to find Hinata. She'd grown beautiful in his absence, more confident, stronger, her Byakugan mastered to a degree that rivaled even Neji. But what struck him most was her soul. Where it had been shy and uncertain before, now it blazed with determination and courage. She'd pushed herself relentlessly in his absence, refusing to be left behind. "Naruto-kun," she breathed when she saw him. Then, gathering her courage, she stepped forward and hugged him tightly. "Welcome home." He hugged her back, feeling the warmth and rightness of it. I kept my promise, I came back, and I believe I promised you a ramen date? Yes. She pulled back slightly, her face red but her eyes steady. But first, I need to tell you something I've been too scared to say for years. I know, Naruto said gently. Soul perception, remember? I can see how you feel about me, but I want to hear you say it anyway. Hinata took a deep breath. I love you, Naruto-kun. I've loved you since we were children. You inspired me to be stronger, to never give up, to believe in myself. You saw me when I was invisible to everyone else. You healed me when I was broken. I love you and I don't want to hide it anymore. Naruto cupped her face gently. I love you too, Hinata-chan. Your soul is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Kind and strong and brave. I'd be honored if you'd be mine. She kissed him, right there in the street, in front of anyone who might be watching, and Naruto kissed her back, pouring all his emotion into it. When they broke apart, both smiling like idiots, Kiba's voice rang out from a nearby rooftop. Finally, do you know how long we've been waiting you two to get together? The entire Konoha 11 was watching, Shikamaru looking amused, Ino crying happy tears, Sakura grinning, even Shino's bug seemed excited. Privacy, Naruto called out with mock annoyance. Ever heard of it? Not when it comes to our friends' love lives. Ino shouted back. They all went to Ichiraku for celebration ramen. The old gang reunited, swapping stories, laughing like no time had passed. Naruto paid attention to each of them with soul perception, seeing how they'd grown, what challenges they'd faced, who they'd become. Shikamaru was grieving. His sensei Asuma had died in a battle against the Akatsuki. Choji had gained massive confidence after avenging his teacher. Ino had bloomed into a skilled interrogator. Neji, freed from his curse seal, had become one of the strongest jonin in the village. Rock Lee had mastered the 8 gates to the 6th gate. Tenten had become a weapons mistress without peer. And Sakura had become a powerhouse, combining Tsunade's strength with exceptional medical ninjutsu. We've all been getting stronger, Shikamaru said quietly, preparing for what's coming. The Akatsuki are hunting Jinchuriki. Naruto, they're going to come for you and Gaara eventually. Let them come, Naruto said with calm confidence. I'm ready, and I won't let anyone hurt my precious people. Troublesome, Shikamaru said with a slight smile. But we believe you. Akatsuki threat. The threat materialized 2 weeks after Naruto's return. Deidara and Sasori of the Akatsuki attacked Sunagakure and captured Gaara, extracting the one-tailed beast and leaving the Kazekage dead. When the news reached Konoha, Naruto's eyes blazed with fury. Not Gaara. They can't have him. Tsunade immediately assembled Team Kakashi, Naruto, Sakura, and Kakashi, with Team Guy as backup. Their mission, rescue Gaara's body and hopefully revive him if possible. They tracked the Akatsuki to their hideout, a cave sealed with a massive barrier. While the others worked to break the seal, Naruto used soul perception to locate Gaara's soul. It was barely there, fading. The extraction had nearly killed him completely. We need to hurry, Naruto said urgently. Gaara's soul is slipping away. If it disperses completely, I won't be able to restore him. They breached the hideout and found Deidara waiting. The Akatsuki member sneered. You're too late. The one tail is already extracted. Your friend is dead. Shut up. Naruto was surrounded by nine-tailed chakra in an instant, the cloak blazing around him. Shadow clone jutsu, army of the enlightened. 1,000 clones filled the cavern, each one soul-enhanced and ready for combat. Deidara barely had time to register the threat before they were on him. The battle was brutal but one-sided. Naruto's power had grown exponentially, and Deidara's explosive clay was ineffective against someone who could reshape his body faster than the explosions could damage it. Body repel, idle transfiguration, soul perception. Naruto called out techniques in rapid succession, overwhelming the Akatsuki member. Meanwhile, Sakura and Chiyo, an elder from Sunagakure who joined them, were working on Gaara's body. The extraction had killed him, but his body was intact. I have a forbidden technique, Chiyo said quietly. One life reincarnation. I can transfer my life force to revive him. It will kill me, but... No, Naruto interrupted, appearing beside them with Deidara unconscious over his shoulder. I have a better way. Soul restoration, life return. He placed his hands on Gaara's chest, and blue light blazed brighter than ever before. Naruto reached into the fading remnants of Gaara's soul, grabbed hold, and pulled it back from the brink of dispersal. Then he began to repair it, reconstructing the damage, reestablishing the connection between soul and body. It took everything he had. Sweat poured down his face. Blood dripped from his nose from the strain. The Nine Tails' chakra flowed into Gaara along with Naruto's soul energy, providing the raw power needed to jumpstart his system. "Come on," Naruto muttered through gritted teeth. "Come on, Gaara. You promised you'd use your power to protect people. You can't break that promise. Come back!" Gaara's eyes snapped open, gasping. "Naruto?" His voice was weak but alive. "Yeah," Naruto said with a tired grin. "I've got you, friend. You're safe now." The rescue team returned to Sunagakure as heroes. Gaara was alive, though weakened. The one tail was gone, extracted by the Akatsuki, but Naruto's technique had saved Gaara's life in a way that should have been impossible. "You brought me back from death," Gaara said quietly as they prepared to return to Konoha. "How?" "Soul manipulation," Naruto explained. "I grabbed your soul before it could fully disperse and anchored it back to your body. You're not a Jinchuriki anymore, but you're alive. That's what matters." "Thank you," Gaara said with deep sincerity. "I owe you a debt I can never repay." "You don't owe me anything. That's what friends do." Naruto smiled. "Besides, the world needs you. Sunagakure needs its Kazekage. Don't go dying on us again." Preparing for war, back in Konoha, the mood was tense. The Akatsuki had successfully extracted a tailed beast. They were getting bolder, stronger, and Naruto was their next target. "They'll come for the Nine Tails eventually," Tsunade said during a strategy meeting. "We need to be ready. Naruto, your power makes you both our greatest weapon and our biggest liability if they capture you." "They won't," Naruto said with absolute confidence. "I'm strong enough now to face them, and I have backup. Kurama is actually cooperating with me. My soul techniques are mastered, and I've got all of you watching my back. The Akatsuki will regret targeting Konoha's Jinchuriki." "Don't get overconfident," Kakashi warned. "These aren't missing nin thugs. They're S-rank criminals. Each one could take on a small village single-handedly, and their leader Pain is rumored to have powers that rival the Hokage." "Then I'll just have to surpass the Hokage," Naruto said with a grin. Then he looked at Tsunade. "No offense, Grandma Tsunade." She didn't hit him for the nickname, which told him she was more worried than she let on. That evening, Naruto visited his parents' graves for the first time. He'd learned their identities but hadn't had the chance to pay proper respects. Standing before the memorial stones, he placed flowers down and spoke quietly. "Hey, Mom. Dad, it's me, Naruto. I know you can't hear me, but I wanted you to know I'm doing okay. Better than okay, actually. I've got friends, a girlfriend, and power I'm using to protect people just like you did. I'm going to be Hokage someday, Dad. I'm going to surpass you, and I'm going to make sure your sacrifice wasn't in vain." Behind him, Kurama's voice rumbled in his mind. "They'd be proud of you, Kit. Your mother was feisty and determined. Your father was brilliant and kind. You got the best of both." "Thanks, Kurama." "Don't mention it. Now come on. I can sense someone approaching with malicious intent." "We've got company." Naruto's soul perception activated. Several people were approaching Konoha, their souls twisted with dark purpose. Akatsuki members, and they were heading straight for the village. "So much for preparation time," Naruto muttered. He activated his communication earpiece. "Kakashi-sensei, Tsunade-sama. The Akatsuki are here. Multiple members approaching from the north. I'm moving to intercept." "Don't engage alone," Tsunade's voice crackled through. "Wait for backup." But Naruto was already moving, racing across the rooftops toward the threat. Because that's what heroes did. They ran toward danger, not away from it. The Pain invasions. 6 figures stood at Konoha's northern gate. Each had orange hair, ringed eyes, and emanated immense power. These were the 6 paths of Pain, puppets controlled by Naruto Uzumaki, though Naruto didn't know that yet. Naruto Uzumaki, the Deva path, spoke with cold authority. "Come with us peacefully, and your village will be spared. Resist, and we will level Konoha in our search for you." Naruto's response was to create 200 shadow clones with soul fusion active. "You're not leveling anything. This is my home. These are my precious people, and I don't care how strong you are, I will protect them." "So be it," Pain said. "Shinra Tensei." The repulsive force blasted outward, destroying Naruto's clones in an instant. But Naruto himself was already gone, having substituted with one of the clones. He appeared behind the Asura path, hand glowing with soul energy. Idle transfiguration. He touched the puppet's shoulder, and its mechanisms began to warp and fail. Not a living thing, but the soul fragments binding it were vulnerable to his power. The animal path summoned massive creatures, a rhino, a bird, a dog that could split into multiples. Naruto countered with his own techniques. Shadow Clone Army! Sage Mode activated. Nine Tails Chakra Cloak. The golden energy of Sage Mode mixed with the orange-red of Kurama's chakra, creating a unique fusion that enhanced his soul manipulation to unprecedented levels. When he touched the summoned animals, he could reach through them to the animal path itself, disrupting the connection. The paths of pain were being pushed back, which shouldn't have been possible. But Naruto's combination of abilities was uniquely suited to counter them. Soul perception let him see their shared vision network. Body repel negated most physical attacks, and his raw power was now approaching Kaji level. Domain expansion. Self-embodiment of perfection. Naruto activated his ultimate technique, creating a field where his soul abilities were absolute. Inside the domain, he could see everything. The chakra rods controlling the paths, the shared vision, and most importantly, the real pain, hidden somewhere distant, controlling these puppets. I can see you, Naruto called out. Your soul is fragmented across these 6 bodies, but I can trace it back to the source. You're in the village? No, just outside. In that tower? The Devapath's expression showed surprise for the first time. Impossible. No one can detect. Soul perception, Naruto interrupted. I don't just see chakra or physical presence. I see souls, and yours is screaming in pain, carrying a burden no one should carry alone. Who are you? Why are you doing this? The question seemed to break something. The attack paused. I am pain, the Devapath said. I am God, and I will bring peace to this world through suffering. Only when the world knows true pain will it understand the need for peace. That's insane, Naruto shouted. Peace doesn't come from pain. It comes from understanding, from people choosing to be better. You're naive, Pain said. The ninja system breeds conflict. Villages fight villages. Countries fight countries. The cycle will never end unless someone has the power to force peace. So your answer is to become a bigger threat than any other? To make people afraid? Naruto's fists clenched. That's not peace. That's tyranny, and I won't let you hurt my village to achieve it. The battle resumed with even greater intensity. Naruto's clones engaged each path simultaneously while he sought out the real body. When he finally located Nagato, hidden in a tower outside the village, he used a transportation technique Jiraiya had taught him to teleport directly there. What he found was shocking. Nagato was emaciated, impaled by chakra rods, barely alive. Konoha, his blue-haired companion, moved to defend him, but Naruto raised his hands peacefully. I don't want to fight you, he said quickly. Please, let me use soul perception. Let me see what drove you to this. There has to be a better way. Konoha, don't. Nagato's real voice was weak, nothing like the commanding tone of the Devapath. Let him try. If he can truly see souls, let him see what created pain. Naruto approached slowly and placed his hand on Nagato's forehead. Soul perception activated at its deepest level, and he saw everything. The death of Yahiko, Nagato's best friend, the manipulation by Obito disguised as Madara, the years of pain and loss that had twisted Nagato's idealism into extremism, the genuine desire for peace buried under layers of trauma. I see, Naruto whispered, tears streaming down his face. I see your pain, all of it. You're not evil, you're just broken, and someone took advantage of that brokenness. It doesn't matter, Nagato said bitterly. The world needs pain to achieve peace. No, Naruto said firmly. The world needs healing, not more pain. Let me show you something different. Let me show you that there's still hope for genuine peace. He began using soul restoration on Naruto, not just healing his body, but repairing the psychological damage, showing him alternative futures, alternative paths, showing him what Jiraiya had wanted for his students, showing him that peace could be achieved through understanding rather than force. It took hours. The sun rose on a transformed landscape, Konoha damaged but standing, the paths of pain deactivated, and Nagato crying in Naruto's arms as years of pain and rage dissolved under the weight of true understanding. I'm sorry, Nagato whispered. I'm so sorry for what I've done. I know, Naruto said gently, and now you get to make it right. Use the Rin rebirth. Bring back everyone who died in your attack. It'll kill you, but you can die a hero instead of a villain. That's what I'll do. Nagato smiled through his tears. Thank you, Naruto Uzumaki. You've shown me that Jiraiya-sensei's way was right all along. Nagato used his final technique, the outer path, Rin rebirth, bringing back to life everyone who died during his invasion. As his life faded, he whispered, I'm glad I met you, my fellow student of Jiraiya. You are what I should have been. 3 months after the Pain invasion, Naruto stood before the entire village in a ceremony organized by Tsunade. Naruto Uzumaki, she announced formally. Through your actions, you have saved not only Konoha, but our very way of life. You defeated one of the most dangerous threats in ninja history without needless killing. You healed our enemies and turned them into allies. You've shown that power can be wielded with wisdom and mercy. Therefore, it is my honor to name you Hero of Konoha and recommend you for the position of 6th Hokage when I retire. The crowd erupted in cheers. Every villager who'd once feared him now celebrated him. Every person who'd once called him a monster now called him their hero. Hinata stood beside him, holding his hand, her face radiant with pride. The rest of the Konoha 11 stood behind him, his friends, his precious people, all of them ready to support him in whatever came next. I still have one more promise to keep, Naruto said to them later that evening. I need to bring Sasuke home. We'll help, Sakura said immediately. The others nodded in agreement. Yeah, Naruto said with his characteristic grin. Together. That's how we do everything, because that's what friends do. They never give up on each other. Somewhere far away, in Orochimaru's hideout, Sasuke Uchiha felt a chill. His former teammate had become something extraordinary, and deep down, beneath all his pride and pain, Sasuke knew the truth. Naruto hadn't just surpassed him. Naruto had surpassed everyone, and maybe, just maybe, it was time to come home. But that's a story for another day. For now, Naruto stood on the Hokage monument at sunset, looking over his village. The place that had rejected him had become the place he'd saved. The people who'd feared him now loved him. And the power that could have made him a monster had instead made him the greatest hero Konoha had ever seen. Soul manipulation, he murmured, looking at his glowing hand. It's not about the power itself. It's about the choice. The choice to heal instead of hurt, to save instead of destroy, to be a hero instead of a monster. Kurama rumbled approvingly in his mind. You've done well, Kit. Your parents would be proud. Hell, I'm proud. And that's saying something. Naruto laughed. Thanks, Kurama. Couldn't have done it without you. The 5 Koge Summit. Chaos Unleashed. The Iron Country's neutral meeting hall was supposed to be the place where the 5 Kage would discuss the Akatsuki threat and coordinate their response. Instead, it had become a war zone. Sasuke Uchiha stood in the center of the chamber, Mangekyo Sharingan blazing, black flames of Amaterasu spreading across the walls. Around him lay injured samurai and shocked Kage guards. The Raikage's lightning chakra crackled as he prepared to obliterate the Uchiha. The Tsuchikage floated above, ready to unleash dust release. The Mizukage's water techniques pooled beneath her feet. The Kazakage's sand swirled protectively. And the 5th Hokage, Tsunade, stood with her fists clenched, chakra enhanced and ready to strike. This is what your precious Konoha produces, the Raikage roared at Tsunade. Uchiha terrorists. First, Itachi slaughters his entire clan. Now this one attacks a summit of world leaders. Your village is a plague. Stand down, Tsunade warned. Sasuke is under Konoha jurisdiction. He attacked us. That makes him fair game, the Raikage charged, his lightning armor blazing. That's when the ceiling exploded inward. Naruto Uzumaki descended through the debris, surrounded by the golden aura of Sage Mode mixed with the orange-red chakra of the Nine Tails. His eyes blazed with blue light, soul perception active at maximum intensity. The moment he landed, every person in the room felt it, the weight of his presence, the sheer overwhelming power that made even the Kage tense. But more than that, they felt seen, truly seen, like Naruto could peer into their very essence, because he could. I can see all of your souls, Naruto said, his voice carrying absolute authority despite his youth. His gaze swept across the room. The Raikage's fury and grief over his brother's apparent death at Akatsuki hands, the Tsuchikage's old hatred and political calculation, the Mizukage's curiosity and hidden attraction, the Kazekage's gratitude and determination, Tsunade's pride mixed with worry, and Sasuke's corrupted, fractured soul screaming in pain and hatred. I know your pain. I know your fears. I know what drives every single one of you, and I'm going to end this cycle my way. The room froze. The Raikage recovered first. Who the hell do you think you are, boy? Naruto Uzumaki, hero of Konoha, the ninja who defeated Pain, Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, and the person who's going to stop this summit from turning into a massacre. He pointed at Sasuke without looking away from the Raikage. Sasuke is my responsibility, my precious person, and I'm taking him home after I deal with the actual threat facing all our nations. The only threat here is that Uchiha, the Raikage snarled. No. Naruto's soul perception flared, and suddenly everyone in the room could see what he saw, a brief flash of souls, truths, connections. The real threat is Madara Uchiha, or rather, someone calling himself Madara. He's manipulated Sasuke, controlled the Akatsuki, and is planning something that will destroy all 5 nations if we don't stop him. I can see his influence like a stain on the world's soul. He's the one you should be worried about. Madara Uchiha is dead, the Tsuchikage, though his expression suggested he wasn't entirely certain. Then someone with his power is alive and using his name. Naruto's eyes locked onto Sasuke. And they twisted my best friend into a weapon. Sasuke, I can see what Itachi did to you. What Obito showed you. The truth about the Uchiha massacre. Your soul is screaming with it. Sasuke's Mangekyo Sharingan met Naruto's glowing blue eyes. You know nothing. The third Hokage and the Konoha elders ordered Itachi to slaughter the Uchiha clan to prevent a coup. Itachi chose to spare you and make himself the villain so you'd have something to live for. Revenge against him rather than against the village. He loved you more than anything. And you killed him not knowing he was a hero who sacrificed everything for Konoha and for you. The silence in the room was deafening. Sasuke's face twisted in anguish. How do you... Soul perception. I can see the truth Itachi left imprinted on your soul when he died. I can see the memories Obito showed you. I can see everything, Sasuke. Every lie, every manipulation, every piece of your broken heart. Naruto took a step forward, was ignoring the Kaji entirely now. And I can fix it. Let me heal your soul. Let me show you there's another path. Don't. Sasuke's voice cracked. Don't try to save me. I don't deserve it. My entire clan was murdered by my brother on orders from Konoha. The village you love killed my family. How can you ask me to let that go? I'm not asking you to let it go, Naruto said gently. I'm asking you to let me carry it with you. Your pain, your rage, your grief. You don't have to bear it alone anymore. That's what I'm here for, to share your burden and help you find a way forward that doesn't end in your destruction. The Raikage moved to intervene, but Tsunade blocked him. Wait, let Naruto try. If anyone can reach Sasuke, it's him. Naruto walked forward slowly, hands open, non-threatening. Sasuke's Susanoo began to form, purple chakra ribs manifesting defensively. But Naruto didn't stop. Sasuke, look at me with those Sharingan eyes and tell me you don't see the truth. You know me. You know I'd never lie to you. I can save you. I can heal what's been broken. But you have to let me try. For a moment, just a moment, Sasuke's Susanoo wavered. His soul, visible to Naruto's perception, reached out desperately toward his former teammate, toward hope, toward salvation. Then Obito's voice cut through the moment. How touching! The masked man materialized in the center of the room, his presence immediately shifting every Kaja into combat stance. The Nine-Tails Jinchuriki and the last Uchiha reunited, but I'm afraid Sasuke has already chosen his path. And you, Naruto Uzumaki, are far too dangerous to be allowed to interfere with my plans. Naruto's soul perception focused on Obito, and what he saw made his blood run cold. This soul was twisted beyond almost anything he'd encountered. Corrupted by hatred, loss, and despair so profound it had warped the person's entire being. But underneath, buried deep, was something familiar, something that resonated with Konoha. You're from Konoha, Naruto breathed. Your soul? You were one of us. What happened to you? Obito's visible eye narrowed behind the mask. Perceptive. Yes, I was once a Konoha shinobi, until I saw the truth of this world, that it's hell, that peace is impossible, that the only solution is the infinite Tsukuyomi, a genjutsu cast over the entire world, giving everyone their perfect dream. No more pain, no more loss, only peace. That's not peace, Naruto shouted. That's running away, hiding in dreams instead of fixing reality. Reality can't be fixed. Obito's voice was cold. But it can be replaced, and I will use the power of all nine-tailed beasts to cast the ultimate genjutsu. You, Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, are the final piece I need. Then come and take me. Naruto's chakra exploded outward, his Sage Mode and Nine Tails cloak merging. But you'll have to go through the 5 Kage and every shinobi in this building first. No, Obito said calmly. I won't fight you here. Not when war will deliver you to me anyway. Consider this a declaration. He turned to address all 5 Kage. I am Madara Uchiha, and I declare the 4th Shinobi World War. In the coming days, I will attack all 5 nations with an army of 100,000 white Zetsu and an arsenal of reanimated legendary shinobi. You may unite against me if you wish, it won't matter. I will capture the 8 and 9 tails, complete the 10 tails, and become the Jinchuriki of the most powerful being that ever existed. Then this world of suffering ends. You're insane, the Mizukage shouted. No, I'm enlightened. Obito's hand reached out, and Sasuke was pulled into the Kamui dimension before Naruto could react. Sasuke comes with me. He has a role to play in the coming war. As for you, Naruto Uzumaki, I look forward to our next meeting. Your soul manipulation is fascinating. I wonder if you can fix a soul as corrupted as mine? Before anyone could stop him, Obito vanished, taking Sasuke with him. Naruto's fist slammed into the floor, cracking the stone. Damn it! I was so close! The 5 Kage stared at the spot where Obito had stood, then at each other, then at Naruto, the young man who just faced down an S-rank criminal without flinching and nearly convinced Sasuke Uchiha to surrender peacefully. That power you used, the Tsuchikage said carefully. Soul perception. You can truly see into people's hearts? Yes, Naruto confirmed. It's my Kekkei Genkai, soul manipulation. I can see souls, reshape bodies, heal injuries that normal medical ninjutsu can't touch, and sense truth from lies. And I'm telling you all truthfully, this Madara, whoever he really is planning something that will destroy the world. We need to work together. The Raikage's expression was still hostile, but calculating. You saved Gaara's life after the one-tail extraction. The Kazekage vouched for you, and you defeated Pain, who killed Jiraiya the Gallant and nearly destroyed Konoha. You're no ordinary Genin. I'm a Chunin now, actually, Naruto said with a slight smile. But yeah, I'm not ordinary. I'm the person who's going to stop this war and save everyone, including Sasuke and whoever's behind that mask. Tsunade stepped forward. As 5th Hokage, I propose we form the allied shinobi forces. All 5 nations united against this threat. And I recommend Naruto Uzumaki serve as a strategic asset. His soul perception can detect the White Zetsu army, counter the Edo Tensei reanimations, and provide battlefield intelligence no other shinobi can match. You want us to trust a Jinchuriki with sensitive intelligence? The Tsuchikage challenged. I want you to trust the ninja who saved one of your fellow Kage from permanent death, Tsunade shot back. Gaara would be gone without Naruto, and from what I've seen, Naruto's abilities are the advantage we need to win this war. The Kazekage, Gaara himself, spoke for the first time. I trust Naruto Uzumaki with my life. He sees the good in people, even when they can't see it in themselves. If he says this threat is real, I believe him. Tsunagakure will join the allied shinobi forces. One by one, the other Kage agreed. The decision was unanimous. The 5 great shinobi nations would unite for the first time in history to face the threat of Madara Uchiha and his declaration of war. As the summit concluded and strategies were discussed, Naruto stood on the balcony overlooking the frozen landscape of the Iron Country. His soul perception was active, scanning the horizon, searching for any trace of Sasuke's soul signature. I'll bring you home, he whispered. No matter what it takes, that's still my promise. Behind him, a feminine voice spoke. That's quite the burden you're carrying. He turned to find Mei Terumi, the 5th Mizukage, approaching. Her soul was complex, strong, determined, lonely in ways she hid from the world. She'd taken an interest in him during the summit, and soul perception told him why. She saw strength, determination, and the kind of hero the world needed. Everyone carries burdens, Naruto replied. Mine just happened to involve saving my best friend from himself and stopping a madman from casting the entire world into a genjutsu. You're confident you can do both? I have to be. Otherwise, what's the point? He looked at her directly. I can see you're skeptical. Your soul shows it. You've seen too many people talk big and fail. But I'm different. I don't just talk, I act. And I will stop this war. Mei smiled slightly. That certainty is either inspiring or foolish. I can't decide which. Why not both? Naruto grinned. I've been called a fool plenty of times, but I'm a fool who gets results. Indeed. She studied him thoughtfully. Your soul manipulation, could it detect infiltrators? The white Zetsu army Madara mentioned, they can mimic appearance and chakra signatures. But can they mimic souls? Naruto's eyes widened. No, they can't. Souls are unique. Even if they copy someone's appearance perfectly, their soul would be different. I could identify them instantly with soul perception. Then you're more valuable than even the Hokage realized. Mei's expression turned serious. This war will test all of us, but having someone who can see the truth, that might be what saves us all. War preparation. The Allied Shinobi Forces. 2 weeks after the Five Kage Summit, the Allied Shinobi Forces headquarters was established on a heavily fortified island. Over 60,000 shinobi from all 5 nations gathered, the largest military force in history. And in the center of it all, Naruto Uzumaki trained with an intensity that made even veteran Jonin take notice. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Shadow Clone Soul Fusion. 1,000 Narutos filled the training field, each one enhanced by soul energy, making them as durable and powerful as the original. They moved in perfect synchronization, practicing combination techniques, testing the limits of mass coordination. Watching from the command center, the Allied Shinobi Forces Supreme Commander, a position given to the 4th Raikage, observed with grudging respect. He's a one-man army. He's our secret weapon, Tsunade corrected. And he knows it. That's why he's pushing himself so hard. He wants to be ready for anything. Gaara, serving as the regimental commander of the 4th Division, nodded. Naruto saved my life. Now he's preparing to save everyone else's. That's who he is. In another part of the base, Sakura Haruno worked with the medical division, teaching them the basics of soul restoration techniques Naruto had shared. While she couldn't perform soul manipulation herself, she'd learned enough from watching Naruto to enhance traditional medical ninjutsu with concepts from his techniques. Chakra scalpel enhanced with soul energy theory, she explained to a group of medics. We can't manipulate souls directly, but we can treat the chakra pathways as extensions of the patient's soul structure. More precise, more effective. Naruto revolutionized medical ninjutsu without even trying. Hinata Byakugan watched Naruto train from a distance, her heart full of pride and worry. They'd grown closer since his return, their relationship deepening from crush to genuine partnership. But now he was preparing for a war that could kill him, and she could do nothing but watch and prepare to fight beside him. Hinata-sama, Neji approached, his expression serious. You're worried about him. Of course I am, she admitted. He's so strong, but he's also so reckless. He'll try to save everyone, even at the cost of his own life. Then we'll have to make sure he doesn't have to make that choice. Neji's gaze was determined. Naruto freed me from my curse seal, saved me from my hatred. I owe him everything. When this war comes, I'll fight at his side. We all will. That evening, Naruto stood on the beach watching the sunset. Kurama's voice rumbled in his mind. You're ready, kid. More ready than any Jinchuriki I've ever been sealed in. Your soul manipulation combined with my chakra are going to be unstoppable. I don't want to be unstoppable, Naruto said quietly. I want to be good enough to save everyone, including Sasuke, including whoever's behind that mask, even including the people controlling the Edo Tensei. Everyone deserves a chance at redemption. You're too soft, Kurama grumbled, but there was affection in his tone. But that's what makes you different. That's what makes you worthy of my partnership. You've got power that could destroy nations, but you choose to heal instead. Even I respect that. Thanks, Kurama, Naruto smiled. We're going to end this war and bring everyone home safely. That's my promise. And when have you ever broken a promise? Kurama's chakra pulsed warmly. Now get some rest. Tomorrow, the real training begins. The war begins. First contact, the 4th Shinobi World War, officially began 3 weeks after the Five Kage Summit. 100,000 white Zetsu emerged from the ground simultaneously across multiple battlefronts, supported by an army of Edo Tensei reanimated legendary shinobi controlled by Kabuto Yakushi, Orochimaru's former subordinate. The allied shinobi forces mobilized immediately, their divisions spreading across the combat zones. But despite their numbers and preparation, the first day of combat was brutal. The White Zetsu were relentless, and the Edo Tensei shinobi were immortal, regenerating from any damage, until Naruto arrived on the battlefield. Sage Mode activated. Nine-Tail Chakra Mode. The golden aura of Sage Mode merged with Kurama's orange-red chakra cloak, creating a blazing mantle of power that could be seen from miles away. Naruto stood on a cliff overlooking the primary battlefield, his soul perception scanning the chaos below. "I can see them," he announced through the communication network. "Every single White Zetsu, their souls are artificial, empty copies without the depth of real people. And the Edo Tensei, their souls are bound, forced to fight against their will. I can identify them all." His voice reached every allied shinobi through the communications system. "Listen up. I'm about to show you what soul manipulation can really do. Shadow Clone Jutsu, Mass Shadow Clone Soul Fusion." 5,000 Naruto clones materialized across the battlefield, each one glowing with soul energy. They moved like a coordinated tsunami, crashing into the White Zetsu army with devastating efficiency. Soul perception, truth sight. Every clone's eyes blazed, seeing through the White Zetsu transformations instantly. U3, White Zetsu disguised as Konoha Jonin. U5, hidden in the supply division. U12, pretending to be injured to get close to the medics. The White Zetsu infiltrators were exposed and neutralized in seconds. Allied shinobi watched in awe as Naruto's clones moved through their ranks, identifying and eliminating threats with perfect accuracy. But the real display came when Naruto confronted his first Edo Tensei opponent. The second Tsuchikage Mu materialized before him, invisible to normal perception, able to split his body and use dust release to disintegrate anything he touched. A legendary shinobi considered one of the strongest in history. A child? Mu's voice held contempt. "They send children to fight legends now?" "I'm not just any child," Naruto replied, his soul perception locking onto Mu despite the invisibility. "I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and I can see your soul is bound against your will. You don't want to fight. You're being controlled by someone using Edo Tensei. Perceptive, but irrelevant. I have no choice but to fight." Mu launched a dust release attack, a technique that could disintegrate anything at a molecular level. Body repel. Naruto's form became semi-corporeal, the dust release passing through him harmlessly. Then he touched the ground. Domain expansion, heroic embodiment. The space around them warped. For 50 feet in every direction, reality became Naruto's domain. Inside this space, his soul techniques were absolute. He could see every soul, manipulate every body, and most importantly, he could reach the real souls of Edo Tensei summons, not just their reanimated shells. "I can see the seal binding you," Naruto said, his eyes blazing brighter than ever. "I can see the soul fragments keeping you here. Let me free you." Idle transfiguration, seal disruption. He touched Mu's chest, and blue light flowed into the Edo Tensei body. The technique didn't attack Mu, it attacked the seal controlling him. The reanimation jutsu began to destabilize. "What?" Mu's eyes widened. "You're unraveling the Edo Tensei from inside? That should be impossible!" "Nothing's impossible for someone who can manipulate souls directly." Naruto's grin was fierce. "Now, second Tsuchikage, I'm gonna set you free. When you return to the Pure Land, tell the other fallen shinobi that the war will end soon, because I'm going to stop whoever's doing this and bring peace to the world." The Edo Tensei binding shattered. Mu's soul, visible to Naruto's perception, looked at him with something like respect. "You're an interesting child. If more shinobi were like you, perhaps this world would be worth saving." Then his body crumbled to dust, his soul returning to the afterlife. All across the battlefield, Naruto's clones began engaging and freeing Edo Tensei shinobi. Not all could be saved. Some were too strongly bound, required multiple clones working together, or fought too viciously to approach safely. But enough were freed that the tide of battle shifted dramatically. By the end of the first day, the allied shinobi forces had achieved what should have been impossible, a decisive victory with minimal casualties. And every shinobi on the battlefield knew why. Naruto Uzumaki had arrived, the hero of the war. Over the next week, Naruto became a legend. His clones were everywhere, supporting every division, identifying infiltrators, freeing Edo Tensei shinobi, healing the injured with soul restoration, and coordinating strategies through perfect battlefield awareness. He's not human, one Iwa shinobi muttered to his companion. No one person should be able to do this much. He's a Jinchuriki, his companion replied, and he's got that soul technique thing. Apparently, he can literally see us from miles away. It was true. Naruto's soul perception, enhanced by Sage Mode and Kurama's chakra, had a range of over 10 miles. He could sense every allied shinobi, every enemy, every threat. He coordinated troop movements, called out ambushes before they happened, and ensured supplies reached where they were needed. But his most impressive feat came on the 5th day of the war, when he encountered the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, all reanimated through Edo Tensei, all legendary killers. They stood before him with their signature weapons, Zabuza Momochi with Kubikiri Bocho, Fuguki Suikazan with Samehada, Jinin Akebino with Kabutowari, Kushimaru Kuriari with Nuibari, Jinpachi Munashi with Shibuki, Ameyuri Ringo with Kiba, and Mangetsu Hozuki with Hiramekare. 7 legends against 1 kid, Zabuza said, though his voice held recognition. Naruto Uzumaki. I heard you convinced me to join Konoha before I died. Apparently that was a good choice. It was, Naruto confirmed. You and Haku became heroes. You protected the village and died saving civilians during the Pain Invasion. I'm sorry I couldn't save you then. Don't be. I lived more fully in those few years with you than in all my years as a missing nin. Zabuza raised his sword. But now I'm being controlled. So unless you can break this Edo Tensei, you'll have to fight us all. I can break it, Naruto said confidently. But first, I'm going to show the Allied forces what happens when you try to use legends as weapons. Shadow Clone Soul Fusion 7-point formation. 7 Naruto clones appeared, each one glowing with concentrated soul energy. They faced the 7 swordsmen one-on-one, and the battle that followed was legendary in its own right. Clone 1 versus Zabuza. I know all your techniques, Zabuza-san. You taught them to me. The clone moved through hidden mist with perfect precision, matching Zabuza's silent killing technique with soul perception that saw through any stealth. Rasengan, Soul Strike. The attack didn't kill. It disrupted the Edo Tensei binding on contact. Clone 2 versus Fuguki. Samehada absorbs chakra, but can it absorb soul energy? The clone's hand glowed blue. Let's find out. Idle transfiguration, weapon disruption. He touched Samehada directly, temporarily paralyzing the sentient sword by reshaping its structure at a cellular level. Clone 3 versus Jinin. Your Kabutowari can break through any defense, but soul perception shows me exactly when and where you'll strike. The clone dodged with impossible precision, then countered. Soul chain binding. Uzumaki chakra chains infused with soul energy wrapped around Jinin, holding him in place. Clone 4 versus Kushimaru. Nuibari can sew anything together, but I can see the chakra thread before you even throw it. The clone caught the wire mid-flight. Idle transfiguration, thread transmutation. The chakra-conducting wire turned brittle and snapped. Clone 5 versus Jinpachi. Explosive tags on a sword? Creative! Too bad I can reshape my body to avoid the explosions. The clone became semi-corporeal with body repel as Shibuki detonated around him. Soul restoration, controlled detonation. He redirected the explosive force back toward Jinpachi, disrupting the Edo Tensei binding. Clone 6 versus Ameyuri. Lightning swords? I've trained with lightning nature transformation. The clone's hand crackled with lightning chakra mixed with soul energy. Lightning soul blade. Their techniques clashed, evenly matched, until Naruto's soul manipulation gave him the edge. Clone 7 versus Mangetsu. You can transform into water, but I can see your soul even when your body disperses. The clone's soul perception tracked Mangetsu through his hydrification technique. Soul perception, forced manifestation. Blue light pulsed, and Mangetsu was forced back into solid form, his soul too visible to maintain the transformation. The real Naruto stood in the center, coordinating all 7 clones through their soul fusion link. When the moment was right, all 7 clones simultaneously activated their technique. Soul restoration, mass liberation. 7 pulses of blue light, 7 Edo Tensei bindings shattered. 7 legendary souls looked at Naruto with respect as their bodies began to crumble. You really are something special, kid, Zabuza said as he faded. Save the world for us, would you? I will, Naruto promised. That's my ninja way. The battlefield erupted in cheers. The allied shinobi had witnessed Naruto Uzumaki defeat the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist without killing a single opponent, instead freeing them from their forced servitude. It was the kind of feat that would be told in legends for generations. But Naruto wasn't finished, not even close. The masked man revealed. On the 10th day of the war, Obito finally made his move. He appeared on the primary battlefield riding the 10 tails. Not complete yet, missing the 8 and 9 tails, but still a mountain-sized beast of pure destructive power. Behold! Obito's voice boomed across the battlefield. This is the power that will reshape the world. The 10 tails will grow stronger with each moment, and when it's complete, the infinite Tsukuyomi will begin. All of you will finally know peace. The allied shinobi forces scrambled to respond, but the 10 tails was beyond anything they'd prepared for. Its tailed beast bomb could level mountains. Its physical strength could crush entire battalions, and Obito stood on its head, untouchable through his Kamui intangibility, until Naruto arrived. 9 Tails Chakra Mode, Tailed Beast Transformation. Kurama's full form manifested around Naruto, a golden-orange fox the size of a mountain, matching the 10 tails in scale. But this wasn't the mindless rage of previous Jinchuriki. This was perfect cooperation between Naruto and Kurama, enhanced by soul manipulation. You again, Obito said, his single visible eye focusing on Naruto. The 9 Tails Jinchuriki with soul manipulation. You're persistent. I'm more than persistent, Naruto replied, his voice echoing with Kurama's power. I'm the person who's going to stop you and save you. Because I can see your soul, and I know you weren't always this twisted. Something broke you. Something made you give up on reality and run toward this illusion. Let me see what it was. Soul Perception Deep Dive. Naruto's technique activated at maximum power, reaching across the distance between them and into Obito's soul. And there, buried beneath layers of hatred and despair, he saw it. A girl with brown hair and purple marks on her cheeks. Rin Nohara, Obito's teammate. His love. He saw her death, forced by Kakashi, manipulated by enemies, dying on the blade of the person she cared about. He saw Obito's heart break, saw him embrace Madara's philosophy, saw him become the masked man. Rin, Naruto whispered, she died, and you couldn't handle it. So you decided reality was too painful and created this plan to trap everyone in dreams. But she wouldn't want this. I can see her memory in your soul. She wanted you to protect your comrades, not trap them in illusions. You understand nothing. Obito's voice cracked. I watched her die. I watched this world take everything from me. The infinite Tsukuyomi isn't running away. It's mercy. Everyone gets their perfect world. No more pain, no more loss, and no more growth. No more real joy. No more actual connections. Naruto's chakra blazed brighter. You're not saving people. You're killing them, trapping them in stagnant dreams instead of letting them live real lives. That's not what Rin wanted. That's not what anyone wants. It's what I want. Obito's Kamui activated, and he phased through a counterattack from the allied forces. And I have the power to make it happen. Jinchuriki of the 9 Tails, you're the final piece I need. Surrender, and I'll give you any dream you want. Sasuke returned, your parents alive, a perfect world. I don't want a dream, Naruto said firmly. I want reality. The messy, painful, beautiful reality where I can actually make a difference, where my actions matter, where the bonds I form are real. He charged forward, Kurama roaring. Tailed Beast Rasengan, soul annihilation. The attack was massive, a Rasengan the size of a building, infused with Tailed Beast chakra and soul energy. It crashed into the 10 tails, and for the first time, the incomplete beast screamed in pain. The soul energy disrupted its connection to Obito, weakened the control. Impossible, Obito staggered. The 10 tails should be immune. Nothing's immune to soul manipulation when I'm this serious. Naruto pressed the attack. Shadow Clone Mass Army. 10,000 clones materialized across the battlefield, each one enhanced by soul fusion. They swarmed the 10 tails from every direction, attacking not the body, but the soul connections binding it. The allied shinobi forces watched in awe as Naruto Uzumaki fought a tailed beast and its controller single-handedly, his clones coordinating with perfect precision, his power overwhelming even this legendary threat. But Obito had one more card to play. If I can't control the 10 tails perfectly, I'll just let it rampage. He severed his connection to the beast deliberately. Destroy them all. The 10 tails went berserk, firing tailed beast bombs in every direction, crushing allied shinobi with its massive limbs, threatening to kill thousands in seconds. Naruto didn't hesitate. "Kurama, give me everything." "You got it, Kit!" Kurama's chakra flowed into Naruto at maximum capacity, the orange-red energy blazing so bright it looked like a second sun had appeared on the battlefield. Domain expansion, heroic embodiment, maximum range. The domain spread, 100 feet, 200, 500, 1,000 feet. The largest domain Naruto had ever created, encompassing the entire 10 tails and thousands of allied shinobi. Inside the domain, Naruto's power was absolute. He could see every soul, manipulate every body, control every aspect of the technique, and he used that power not to attack, but to protect. Soul restoration, mass barrier. Blue light formed a shell around every allied shinobi inside the domain, protecting them from the Ten Tails rampage. The tailed beast bombs detonated harmlessly against barriers of pure soul energy. The crushing limbs were stopped by walls of force that couldn't be broken. And then Naruto did the impossible. Soul manipulation, tailed beast pacification. He reached into the 10 tails of soul, fractured, incomplete, screaming in pain and confusion, and he soothed it. Used soul restoration on a being of pure chakra and hatred, healing the damage, calming the rage. The 10 tails rampage slowed, stopped. The massive beast looked at Naruto with something that might have been gratitude. You can't." Obito stared in disbelief. "The 10 tails is a force of nature. It can't be controlled through kindness." "Everything has a soul," Naruto said, panting from the exertion. "Even the 10 tails. And every soul can be healed if you try hard enough. That's what I believe. That's what I'll always believe." The domain collapsed. Naruto stood on Kurama's head, surrounded by 10,000 clones, facing down Obito and the now calm 10 tails. The allied shinobi forces were safe, protected by his technique, inspired by his power. "Last chance," Naruto called out to Obito. "Surrender. Let me heal your soul. Let me show you there's another way. Rin wouldn't want this version of you. The Obito she loved was a hero who wanted to protect his comrades. Be that person again?" For a moment, just a moment, Obito wavered. His soul, visible to Naruto's perception, reached toward hope, toward redemption. Then a new voice cut through the moment, cold, ancient, and filled with contempt. "How pathetic. Obito, you're letting a child make you doubt? Perhaps I chose the wrong pawn." Madara Uchiha materialized on the battlefield, the real Madara, reanimated through Edo Tensei, but somehow maintaining his own will. His presence was overwhelming, his power eclipsing even Obito's. "The legendary Uchiha," Naruto muttered. "The one who started all of this." Madara's eyes, Rinnegan in both sockets, focused on Naruto with interest. "So you're the Nine Tails Jinchuriki with soul manipulation. Impressive display, but ultimately futile. I am Madara Uchiha, and I will complete the infinite Tsukuyomi whether you approve or not." "Then I'll stop you too," Naruto said with absolute conviction. "I'll stop anyone who tries to trap the world in illusions. That's my promise." Madara smiled. "Bold words. Let's see if you can back them up. Obito, retrieve the 8 and 9 tails. I'll handle this army." What followed was the greatest battle of the Fourth Shinobi World War, the Battle of Legends. Madara Uchiha stood alone against the entire allied shinobi forces, and he was winning. Wood release, deep forest emergence. Massive trees erupted across the battlefield, impaling shinobi, crushing formations, creating a forest of death in seconds. Yasaka Magatama, his Susanoo formed, a towering warrior of purple chakra, and hurled massive energy projectiles that exploded like bombs. Thousands of allied shinobi fell in the first minute. Even with all their preparation, all their numbers, they couldn't match a legend who'd fought the first Hokage to a standstill. Then Naruto Uzumaki entered the fight. Tailed beast bomb, continuous barrage. Riding on Kurama's back, Naruto unleashed a storm of tailed beast bombs that obliterated Madara's wood release forest. Shadow Clone Mass Army, Soul Enhanced Combat Mode. 10,000 clones swarmed Madara from every direction, each one capable of fighting at Chunin level or higher. Madara's Susanoo swept through hundreds of clones with each swing, but more kept coming. And unlike normal shadow clones, these were enhanced by soul fusion. Destroying one didn't give Madara useful information because they all shared consciousness with the original. Impressive, Madara admitted, his Rinnegan spinning, but quantity means nothing against true power. Chibaku Tensei! A black sphere appeared above the battlefield, generating gravitational force strong enough to pull up the earth itself. A technique that could create a moon, seal a tailed beast, or crush an entire army. Naruto's response was immediate. Domain expansion heroic embodiment. The domain formed around the Chibaku Tensei's core, and inside that space, Naruto's soul manipulation was absolute. He reached into the technique itself, found the soul energy binding it together, and simply unraveled it. Idle transfiguration, technique disruption. The Chibaku Tensei collapsed, the gravitational core destabilizing. Chunks of earth fell harmlessly instead of forming a planetary prison. Madara's eyes widened slightly, the first sign of surprise. You can disrupt Rinnegan techniques? How fascinating. Your soul manipulation is more versatile than I thought. I can do more than disrupt, Naruto said, his confidence absolute. I can see your soul, Madara, and I know you're not actually evil. You're broken, twisted by loss and betrayal. You watched your best friend Hashirama create a village that turned on your clan. You saw the Uchiha marginalized and feared. And instead of finding a better way, you chose to give up on reality entirely. Don't presume to understand me, child. Madara's voice was cold. I've seen 1,000 years of history through the infinite Tsukuyomi plan. I know exactly what this world is, a hell that must be remade. Then I'll prove you wrong. Naruto's chakra exploded outward, merging Sage Mode, Nine Tails Chakra Mode, and Soul Manipulation into a form that blazed like a golden sun. I'll show you that reality is worth fighting for, that people can change, that the world can get better without trapping everyone in dreams. The battle that followed shook the earth. Madara's perfect Susanoo, a mountain-sized warrior, clashed with Kurama's tailed beast form enhanced by Naruto's soul manipulation. Each exchange created shockwaves that could be felt miles away. Yasaka Magatama Heavenly Judgment, Madara's Susanoo hurled dozens of energy projectiles. Soul Barrier, Absolute Defense. Naruto formed barriers of pure soul energy that absorbed the attacks. Counterattack, Tailed Beast Rasengan Soul Annihilation Barrage. Multiple massive Rasengans, each infused with Tailed Beast chakra and soul energy, crashed into Madara's Susanoo from all directions. The perfect Susanoo cracked. Actually cracked. An impossible feat against a technique that was supposed to be the ultimate defense. You're strong, Madara acknowledged. Stronger than any shinobi I've faced except Hashirama. But you're still just one person. Wrong, Naruto grinned. I'm one person with 10,000 soul-linked clones, the full power of the Nine Tails, Sage Mode Mastery, and the ability to see and manipulate souls. I'm not just one person. I'm an army united in a single purpose. He activated his ultimate combination technique. Multi-soul clone army, synchronized assault formation. All 10,000 clones moved as one, attacking from every angle with perfect coordination. Some used Rasengan. Others used soul manipulation techniques. Some created barriers. Others disrupted Madara's techniques. They functioned as a single organism with 10,000 bodies, and even Madara's legendary power couldn't track and counter them all simultaneously. Wood release, World of Trees wall. Madara created a defensive forest, but Naruto's clones used idle transfiguration to reshape the wood, turning it brittle and useless. Limbo, border jail. Madara's Rinnegan technique created invisible shadows that could attack from another dimension, but Naruto's soul perception saw them clearly. I can see your Limbo clones. They're just soul projections in another dimension. Soul perception, dimensional sight. Every attack Madara launched was countered. Every technique was disrupted. For the first time in his legendary life, Madara Uchiha was being overwhelmed. This is impossible, Madara muttered. Your power, it shouldn't exist. Soul manipulation at this level breaks fundamental laws of chakra. That's because souls aren't bound by chakra laws, Naruto explained between attacks. There's something deeper, something older, and I've mastered them in ways no one else has. Now surrender. Let me heal your soul like I healed Nagato's. Let me show you peace is possible without illusions. Madara hesitated. For just a moment, his soul reached toward the possibility Naruto offered. Then Black Zetsu struck. The creature emerged from the shadows and merged with Madara's body, overwhelming his consciousness. Foolish Madara. Did you really think you were the mastermind? You were just another pawn. The infinite Tsukuyomi was never the goal. It was the means. And now, with your Rinnegan and the chakra gathered here, we can finally revive the true goddess. What? Madara's voice was distorted, his body changing. What are you doing? Summoning the origin of chakra, Mother Kaguya. The 10 tails absorbed Madara's body. Black Zetsu merged with it, and in a burst of overwhelming power that made the air itself scream, Kaguya Otsutsuki materialized on the battlefield. She was beautiful and terrible. White eyes with Byakugan and Rinne Sharingan combined, horns protruding from her head, robes that seemed to be made of pure chakra. Her presence was suffocating, her power beyond anything Naruto had ever felt. Finally, Kaguya's voice was emotionless, ancient. After 1,000 years, I am free, and all the chakra in this world will return to me. Naruto's soul perception focused on her, and what he saw made his blood run cold. This wasn't a human soul. This was something alien, something that had consumed countless souls over millennia. This was the origin of chakra, the being who'd given humanity this power and now wanted to take it back. Everyone fall back, Naruto ordered through the communication system. This is beyond what any of you can handle. Leave her to me. Naruto, you can't fight her alone. Sakura's voice crackled through his earpiece. I'm not alone, Naruto replied, his determination absolute. I have Kurama, I have my soul manipulation, and I have everyone's trust. I can do this. The final battle was about to begin. Kaguya, the goddess of chakra. Kaguya Otsutsuki looked at Naruto with eyes that had seen civilizations rise and fall. You possess the 9-tails chakra and this unusual soul technique. Interesting, but ultimately irrelevant. All chakra belongs to me, and I will reclaim it. All chakra belongs to the people who use it. Naruto shot back. You can't just take it because you were here first. These are people's lives, their power, their dreams. They are my children's children's children, Kaguya said coldly, and they will return what was stolen from me. She raised her hand and reality warped. Amanaka. The entire battlefield, Naruto, Kurama, and the surrounding area was transported to a dimension of pure ice. The temperature dropped to lethal levels instantly. Allied shinobi who'd been too close froze solid in seconds. Dimension manipulation, Naruto muttered. She can transport us anywhere. Kurama, we need maximum output. Way ahead of you, kid? Kurama's chakra blazed hotter, creating a sphere of warmth around them. But this is bad. If she can change dimensions at will, she can separate us from any support. Kaguya fired massive chakra rods, the same technique that had impaled Nagato, but scaled up to the size of trees. They moved faster than sound, aiming to pierce and seal Naruto's chakra. Body repel, absolute intangibility. Naruto's form became semi-corporeal, the chakra rods passing through him harmlessly. Soul perception shows me your attacks before you even finish forming them. You can't hit what you can't touch. Then I'll attack your soul directly. Kaguya's Rinne Sharingan focused on Naruto, and he felt his soul being pulled, yanked toward her like iron to a magnet. Domain expansion, heroic embodiment. Naruto created his domain, forming a sphere of space where his soul manipulation was absolute. Inside the domain, Kaguya's soul attraction was countered by Naruto's control. You're strong, but inside my domain, I'm stronger. He charged forward, hand glowing with concentrated soul energy. Idle transfiguration, goddess disruption. His hand touched Kaguya's arm, and he immediately understood the problem. Her body wasn't normal. It was made of condensed chakra, constantly regenerating, with a soul structure so alien his techniques barely affected it. You cannot reshape what is beyond flesh, Kaguya said, grabbing his wrist. All killing ash bones. Bones shot from her palm, calcium spikes that could disintegrate anything they touched on a molecular level. Naruto barely managed to dodge, one spike grazing his shoulder. The pain was immediate and excruciating as his flesh began to disintegrate. Soul restoration, emergency healing. He poured soul energy into the wound, racing against the disintegration. The technique worked, barely, but it drained significant energy. She's too strong for direct combat, Kurama warned. Kit, we need a different strategy. Naruto's mind raced. Kaguya was immortal, could manipulate dimensions, could kill with a touch, and had chakra reserves that dwarfed even the combined tailed beasts. A direct fight was unwinnable. But soul perception showed him something, a weakness. Deep in her soul, buried beneath millennia of power and arrogance, was loneliness, fear. A mother separated from her children, desperate to reclaim what she'd lost. She wasn't evil, she was broken by isolation. I can see your soul, Naruto called out, dodging another barrage of chakra rods. I can see what you really are. You're not a goddess of destruction. You're a mother who lost everything. Your son sealed you. Your power was taken, and you've been alone for 1,000 years. Silence. Kaguya's composure cracked slightly. You understand nothing. I understand loneliness. Naruto's voice carried conviction. I grew up alone, hated, feared, but I didn't let that make me cruel. I used my pain to understand others, to connect with them. You could do the same. You could. Aminamanaka. Reality shifted again, this time to a dimension of lava. The heat was lethal, the ground unstable. Kaguya was trying to separate Naruto from his concentration, break his rhythm. But Naruto had trained for exactly this kind of disruption. Sage mode, environmental adaptation. He drew natural energy from the lava dimension itself, using it to enhance his resistance to the heat. Shadow clone soul fusion, dimensional anchor. Clones manifested, creating a network of soul-linked presences that prevented Kaguya from transporting him again without taking the entire network. Impossible. For the first time, Kaguya showed genuine surprise. You're adapting to my dimensions, learning to use them against me? That's what I do. Naruto grinned despite the desperate situation. I adapt, I overcome, I never give up. That's my ninja way. He created 1,000 more clones. Multi-soul clone army, dimensional swarm. The clones spread across the lava dimension, creating a 3-dimensional attack formation. They moved in perfect synchronization, attacking from above, below, and all sides simultaneously. Kaguya's response was to merge with the dimension itself. I am one with my dimensions. You cannot fight the environment. The lava rose up, forming hands that grabbed at Naruto's clones. The air itself became hostile, burning lungs and searing skin. Kaguya had become the battlefield, making herself impossible to attack without attacking the entire dimension. Then I'll just have to remake the dimension. Naruto's eyes blazed brighter than ever before. Domain expansion, heroic embodiment, dimensional override. His domain expanded to encompass the entire lava dimension, an impossible feat that should have drained him completely. But Kurama poured every ounce of chakra into the technique, and Naruto's soul manipulation reached heights he'd never achieved before. Inside the expanded domain, the lava dimension was no longer Kaguya's. It was Naruto's. The hostile environment calmed, the lava stopped attacking, and Kaguya was forced back into physical form, her connection to the dimension severed. You overwrote my Aminamanaka? Kaguya stared at Naruto with something approaching respect. Your soul technique is more powerful than I thought. That perhaps you truly are worthy of being my opponent. I don't want to be your opponent, Naruto shouted. I want to heal you. I can see your soul is in pain. Let me help. Let me show you that this world doesn't have to be your enemy. Help? Kaguya's laugh was bitter. I am beyond help. I am beyond redemption. I am the progenitor of chakra, and I will reclaim what is mine. No one is beyond redemption. Naruto charged forward, preparing his ultimate technique. I've saved criminals. I've healed enemies. I've convinced legends to change their paths, and I'll save you too, even if I have to do it by force. Soul restoration, goddess redemption. He touched her directly, palm to palm, and poured every ounce of his soul energy into her. Not attacking, not destroying, healing. Trying to reach the core of her being, the mother who'd once loved her children, the person who existed before loneliness corrupted her into the goddess of chakra. Kaguya screamed, not in pain but in emotion, feelings she'd suppressed for 1,000 years flooding back. Love for her children, grief at their betrayal, hope that maybe, just maybe, things could be different. I don't. Her voice cracked. Why would you try to save me? I tried to kill you. I want to take everyone's chakra. I'm the enemy of all humanity. Because everyone deserves a chance, Naruto said gently, his soul energy still flowing into her. Because I believe people can change. Because you're in pain, and I can't ignore that. Let me help you. Let me show you a world where you don't have to be alone anymore. For a moment, Kaguya's resistance crumbled. Her soul, visible to Naruto's perception, reached toward his offer, toward redemption, toward peace. Then Black Zetsu tried to intervene one last time. The creature emerged from Kaguya's sleeve, attempting to possess Naruto. Foolish boy, you can't save Mother. She is beyond. Idle transfiguration, absolute erasure. Naruto's hand shot out, touching Black Zetsu directly. His soul manipulation activated at maximum power, and the ancient parasite, created from Kaguya's will but separate from her, simply ceased to exist. Erased not just physically but spiritually. Completely and utterly destroyed, Kaguya watched her creation vanish with wide eyes. You destroyed Black Zetsu? The manifestation of my will? Not your will, Naruto corrected. Your pain, your loneliness, your desperation. Black Zetsu was the part of you that couldn't let go, couldn't move forward. But you don't need it anymore. You can choose differently. He extended his hand. Come back with me. Not as a goddess, not as an enemy, as a person who wants to reconnect with the world. Let me help you. Kaguya looked at his hand for a long moment. Then slowly she took it. I don't deserve this, she whispered. I don't deserve redemption. None of us do, Naruto replied with a gentle smile. That's why it's called mercy. The war ends, peace begins. The return to the primary battlefield was dramatic. Naruto emerged from Kaguya's dimension with the goddess herself in tow, no longer hostile, no longer trying to reclaim chakra, but subdued and willing to face judgment for her actions. The allied shinobi forces stared in shock. Their greatest enemy, the origin of chakra itself, had been not defeated, but saved. Hokage-sama, Naruto addressed Tsunade directly through the communication network. Kaguya Otsutsuki has surrendered. She's willing to face whatever judgment the allied forces decide. But I ask that you consider mercy. She was corrupted by loneliness and pain, and I've helped heal her soul. She's not a threat anymore. Tsunade looked at Kaguya, the ancient goddess who could still destroy them all if she chose, and saw genuine remorse in her expression. This will require a council of all 5 Kage, but given what you've accomplished, Naruto, I'm inclined to trust your judgment. Over the next week, the allied shinobi forces worked to contain the remaining threats. Obito, freed from Black Zetsu's influence, surrendered willingly and used his remaining power to help repair the damage caused by the war. Kabuto, his Edo Tensei army disrupted, was captured and imprisoned, and the White Zetsu army was systematically identified and neutralized through Naruto's soul perception. The war that was supposed to reshape the ninja world ended not with the destruction of one side or the other, but with redemption, with healing, with proof that even the worst enemies could be saved if someone tried hard enough. In the aftermath, Naruto stood on a cliff overlooking the recovering battlefield. Hinata joined him, her hand slipping into his. You did it, she said quietly. You saved everyone, even the goddess. Not everyone, Naruto replied, his expression sad. I still haven't brought Sasuke home. As if summoned by his words, Sasuke Uchiha appeared on the cliff edge. He looked different, older, more tired, but no longer consumed by hatred. I watched the war, Sasuke said without preamble. Saw what you did, saw you save people who didn't deserve saving, saw you prove that strength doesn't have to mean destruction. Sasuke, Naruto turned to face his former teammate. I came to make a decision. Sasuke's Manjikyo Sharingan activated. I'm going to reshape the ninja world, but not through the infinite Tsukuyomi, through revolution. I'm going to destroy the corrupt systems that led to this war, starting with Konoha's leadership. No, Naruto interrupted. You're not. You can't stop me. Yes, I can. Naruto's eyes blazed with soul perception. I can stop you easily. I'm stronger than you now, Sasuke, significantly stronger. But I'm not going to fight you. I'm going to convince you. He walked forward slowly. I know you're angry at the system that killed your clan, but destroying Konoha won't bring them back. It won't heal your pain. It'll just create more suffering, more war, more cycles of hatred. Then what do you suggest? Sasuke's voice was bitter. I let the people who ordered my clan's massacre go unpunished? Pretend nothing happened? No, we reform the system together. Naruto's conviction was absolute. The war proved that the 5 nations can cooperate, that enemies can become allies. Let's use that momentum to create real change, accountability for past wrongs, protection for future generations. A world where what happened to the Uchiha never happens again. And you think they'll listen to you? They'll listen to the hero who saved them all from Kaguya Otsutsuki, Naruto said with a slight smile. They'll listen to the Jinchuriki who proved soul manipulation can be wielded with wisdom and mercy. They'll listen because I'll make them listen, not through force, but through proof that change is possible. Sasuke studied his former teammate for a long moment. His Sharingan saw the truth. Naruto wasn't lying. He genuinely believed he could change the ninja world through redemption rather than revolution. "You're still an idiot," Sasuke said finally. "But you're an idiot who saved the world. So fine. I'll try your way, but if the system doesn't change, I reserve the right to burn it all down." "Fair enough." Naruto extended his hand. "Partners?" Sasuke hesitated, then took the offered hand. "Partners. But only because you proved your way works." The handshake between Naruto Uzumaki and Sasuke Uchiha marked the true end of the Fourth Shinobi World War. Not with enemies defeated, but with friends reunited. Not with hatred continuing, but with hope for the future, reformation, and resolution. 3 months after the war ended, the Five Kage Summit reconvened, this time peacefully, without attacks or threats. The agenda was ambitious: reforming the ninja system, establishing accountability measures, creating protections for bloodline limit users, and building a lasting peace that would prevent future wars. Naruto attended as an advisor despite his young age, his contributions to ending the war earning him a seat at the table. His proposals were radical but effective. Soul perception, truth verification, as a standard for high-level negotiations, ensuring honesty. Creating a joint allied shinobi intelligence division to share information about threats before they escalated. Establishing a Jinchuriki Protection Council to ensure tailed beast hosts were treated as people, not weapons. Medical ninja trained in soul restoration techniques to revolutionize battlefield medicine. Every proposal was accepted. The ninja world had seen what Naruto could accomplish, and they trusted his vision for the future. During a break in the summit, Naruto found himself on a balcony overlooking the village where the meetings were held. Hinata joined him, as she often did these days. "You're changing the world," she said softly, "just like you always said you would." "We're changing it," Naruto corrected. "You, me, Sasuke, everyone who fought in the war. This isn't just my accomplishment. But you're the one who made it possible." Hinata leaned against him. "You're the one who showed everyone that power can be wielded with kindness, that even enemies can be saved, that the world doesn't have to be cruel." "I had good teachers," Naruto replied. "Iruka-sensei showed me kindness when no one else would. Kakashi-sensei taught me teamwork. Jiraiya taught me to never give up on people. And you." He turned to look at her directly. "You showed me what it means to be truly seen and accepted. Your love made me believe I was worth saving." Hinata blushed, but didn't look away. "Naruto-kun, marry me," he said suddenly. "I know we're young. I know there's still so much to do, but I don't want to wait. I want to spend my life with you. I want to build this new world with you by my side. Will you marry me, Hinata Hyuga?" Tears streamed down her face as she nodded. "Yes, yes, of course, yes." Their kiss was witnessed by half the summit attendees who'd been eavesdropping, but neither of them cared. They'd found each other, found love in the midst of war, and now they'd build peace together. 2 years later, the 6th Hokage, the ceremony was held on a beautiful spring day. Every ninja in Konoha gathered to witness the inauguration of their new Hokage, the youngest in history, but also the most accomplished. Naruto Uzumaki stood before the crowd, wearing the Hokage robes and hat, his wife Hinata beside him, and looked out at the village he'd sworn to protect. "When I was a child," he began, his voice carrying across the crowd, "I was hated, feared, called a monster because of the 9 tails sealed inside me. But I made a promise that I'd become Hokage and make everyone acknowledge me, that I'd prove a Jinchuriki could be a hero." He paused, letting his soul perception sweep across the crowd. Every person there loved him now, respected him, believed in him. "I've kept that promise. But more importantly, I've kept a greater promise, to protect everyone, to save everyone I could, and to build a world where no one has to suffer alone like I did." The ninja world is changing. The 5 great nations are cooperating. Bloodline limit users are protected. Jinchuriki are treated as people. And all of it happened because we chose to believe in redemption over revenge. He removed the Hokage hat briefly, looking at it. "This position isn't about power. It's about responsibility. It's about protecting the people who can't protect themselves. It's about making the hard choices to ensure peace continues. And I promise you all, I will be the Hokage who brings lasting peace to our world. Not through force, not through fear, but through understanding and the belief that everyone deserves a chance." The crowd erupted in cheers. Naruto Uzumaki, the former outcast, was now the 6th Hokage of Konoha Gakure. And everyone knew he'd earned it. Sasuke's path, redemption, and atonement. In a private meeting after the ceremony, Sasuke stood before Naruto in the Hokage's office. "I've decided what I'm going to do," Sasuke announced. "I'm going to travel, work as a spy for the Allied Shinobi Intelligence Division, hunt down remaining threats, atone for my actions during the war." "You don't have to leave," Naruto said. "You're forgiven." The council agreed. "I know." Sasuke's expression was complicated. "But I need this. I need to prove to myself that I can be better, that I can use my power to protect rather than destroy. You showed me that's possible. Now I need to show myself. How long will you be gone?" "As long as it takes." Sasuke turned to leave, then paused. "Thank you, Naruto, for not giving up on me, for proving your way works. I'll return someday. And when I do, I want to see the world you've built." "It'll be here waiting," Naruto promised. "And so will I." That's what friends do. Sasuke left Konoha that evening, beginning a journey of atonement that would take him across the ninja world. But for the first time since his family's death, he left with hope rather than hatred. Kaguya's fate, the goddess reformed. In a secure but comfortable facility designed specifically for her, Kaguya Otsutsuki sat in meditation. She was no longer a threat. Naruto's soul restoration had healed much of the corruption in her soul, and she'd willingly sealed most of her power away. Naruto visited her weekly, their sessions a mix of therapy, conversation, and continued healing. "Do you regret it?" Kaguya asked during one visit. "Saving me instead of destroying me? It would have been easier to seal me like my sons did." "I don't believe in taking the easy path," Naruto replied. "And no, I don't regret it. You were in pain. I helped. That's what I do." "You are strange," Kaguya said, but there was warmth in her tone. "In all my years across all the worlds I've visited, I've never met someone who wielded power like you do, with mercy, with wisdom, with genuine desire to save rather than dominate." "That's because power isn't the point," Naruto explained. "Connection is. Understanding is. If I destroyed you, I'd have lost the chance to understand where chakra came from, what you experienced, who you really are. This is better." "Perhaps you are right." Kaguya looked at him with ancient eyes that had seen too much. "I am learning, slowly, what it means to be part of a world rather than above it. Thank you for giving me that chance." "Thank you for taking it," Naruto replied with a smile. The next generation epilogue. 5 years after becoming Hokage, Naruto stood in the hospital holding his newborn son. The boy had his mother's dark hair and his father's blue eyes. And according to Naruto's soul perception, a soul that shone with incredible potential. "Boruto Uzumaki," Naruto said softly, "you're going to grow up in a world of peace. A world where Jinchuriki are heroes, where bloodline limits are celebrated, where the 5 nations cooperate. You'll never know the loneliness I felt. You'll never be hated for circumstances beyond your control." Hinata smiled from her bed, exhausted but happy. "He'll be amazing, just like his father." "Better than me," Naruto corrected. "He gets to start from a place of love and acceptance. He gets to build on the foundation we created. Who knows what he'll accomplish?" Outside the hospital, Konoha thrived. The village had grown larger, more prosperous, more peaceful than ever in its history. The allied shinobi forces maintained cooperation. Bloodline limit users lived without fear. Jinchuriki were respected and protected. And at the center of it all was Naruto Uzumaki, the 6th Hokage, the hero of the 4th Shinobi World War, the ninja who proved that soul manipulation could be wielded by the greatest hero the world had ever known. His journey from hated outcast to beloved leader was complete. His promises to become Hokage, to bring Sasuke home, to save everyone he could, to create lasting peace, were all kept. But more than any title or accomplishment, Naruto had proven something fundamental about the nature of power and heroism. That true strength isn't measured by what you can destroy, but by what you can save. That the most powerful technique isn't the one that kills enemies, but the one that heals allies. That the greatest ninja isn't the one feared by all, but the one loved by all. Naruto Uzumaki had changed the ninja world not through domination, but through redemption. Not through fear, but through hope. Not through hatred, but through the unshakable belief that everyone, no matter how broken, how corrupted, how far gone, deserved a chance to be better, and in doing so, he'd become exactly what he'd always dreamed of, a hero. Final scene, the promise fulfilled. 20 years after the Fourth Shinobi World War, an elderly Naruto stood atop the Hokage monument, looking out over the village he'd protected for decades. His hair was graying, his face lined with age, but his eyes still held that same bright determination. Beside him stood Sasuke, who'd returned from his travels to serve as Naruto's advisor in his later years, and Sakura, now the head of the medical division, and Hinata, his wife and partner through everything. "We did it," Naruto said quietly. "We actually did it. 30 years of peace, no major wars, the allied shinobi forces stronger than ever, bloodline limit users protected, Jinchuriki respected, the world we dreamed of." "You did it," Sasuke corrected. "We just helped." "No." Naruto shook his head. "We did it together. That was always the point. No one person can change the world alone, but together we can accomplish anything." He looked at the village below, children playing in streets without fear, ninja training without hatred, civilians living without war. This was the world he'd promised to create. This was the peace he'd sworn to protect, and he'd kept that promise. Naruto Uzumaki, the boy who was once hated for the demon sealed inside him, had become the Hokage who united the world. The orphan who knew only loneliness had built a family in a village full of love. The wielder of soul manipulation, a power that could have made him a monster, had instead used it to become the greatest hero the ninja world had ever known. His story was complete, his promises fulfilled, his legacy secured. And somewhere in the Pure Land, his parents looked down with pride at the man their son had become. The end.
And that's how Naruto Uzumaki conquered the ninja world with soul manipulation powers. If you enjoyed this insane what-if story, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss our next epic fan fiction. Drop a comment telling us which character should get overpowered abilities next. More anime what-ifs, breakdowns, and game-changing stories coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.